Hello, everyone. We are live. I'm just waiting for a couple of people to show up. I think Shay is running late from her work, but she should be in shortly. And I do have everybody else, or most of the other people, in. We're waiting for Drink to make her way over. And everybody else is just kind of getting their stuff set up. So, hello, welcome. How are you all doing? Welcome to the show. I'm going to get the notifications out while I wait, so be right back. Where did my other notifications go? Did I already get those ones out?
Back.
Welcome back. We're live now. Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi there.
Hello.
Still getting the notifications out. We'll just give our stragglers a few minutes here. Hi, Max. I'm doing all right. Just a little nervous, but I think we'll be doing just fine today. I haven't set up the record yet, but the stream will at least get our nice little casual banter. Oh, that's something I need to turn off too. I'm gonna turn off the noisy pings.
I mean, with push to talk, we won't hear the pings.
Unless it goes off when I'm talking like it did that time.
And it doesn't matter if we won't, it's gonna show up on the stream.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the it's like that's the real issue. So let me turn that off.
I realized that. I was about to say I didn't hear anything, then I'm like, oh wait, no, Rin's recording. Don't be dumb.
Yeah, it's alright, don't worry about it. It's no biggie.
Don't be stupid. And I'm at least going to stay push to talk until my parents go to bed. Because that's when it's going to be important.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to avoid the random side conversations bleeding into it. If y'all are responsible adults and can manage the other things over the simple suggestion, then that's fine too.
It's just once the dogs are in my room, then I'm safe. Otherwise, I'm not safe. I'm never safe.
I'm going to now take push to talk off because I almost never remember to actually hit the damn button before I'm talking.
That's fair.
BRB a moment.
Now, how much do you guys want to bet that he forgot to mute himself before going away?
Oh, probably.
A lot.
Alright. We still have no sign of Shay.
Okay.
Welcome back. It sounds like he didn't do it.
I mean,
Hello, newcomer.
Yo.
It's
Hello.
Hey, drink.
Every,
So,
Everybody
how much
else
time
hearing
are we
that.
going to give our missing player?
I'm really not. I mean, she said 5, so she's running late. So I'm going to get started here in just a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, so how's everybody doing? I think I asked you all this, but Drink is here now.
I'm sick.
I saw
No.
that. That doesn't good. So basically, the way I figured we were going to do this is to try and pad out any potential stragglers. We'll do a nice little opening introduction, ask how everybody's doing, share some nice news like this, how the thing's going. Drink is sick. We'll go for 3 hours. I think that's a general good
Pretty much.
live
That's
voice
it?
game. Yeah, that's it.
I think for the first game, that's good. See how
Get a
we
feel of
feel.
it. Get a feel of it. See how everybody does together. Hopefully Shay will be here. I'm still stalling for her.
Stop it!
I know.
You've already said you're not going to give her any more time, and you're now
Yeah.
stalling.
Well, I'm stalling while also explaining the thing. We are going to have at least one break. If you guys need more, we can set aside 2 at the most. But generally it'll be time for a 5-minute break about halfway through.
Well, with only 3 hours, I don't think we're gonna need a break.
It's if they do. I'm just kind of leaving it there. So we'll just take one so people can get up, stretch a little bit. If they need it, they need it. If they don't have to go anywhere. And then we'll do like a nice little closing where people who stream can plug their stuff. And then we'll close it out. We'll also, whether you all want to do your own recap, because recaps from the player perspective is a nice way for me to grasp what information y'all gleaned over the session, or I can do the recap every week. It doesn't matter to me. I like players recapping because it does tell me what y'all know and what information you picked up versus me telling you what happened and what you should have known. That's some tasty water. I'm
Good
already,
recap, Brent.
I'm already needing to get to it. Tasty water.
I personally prefer DM recap, but that's because my memory is really bad, so I may just rely on you guys to do that.
I'd
Yeah.
rather DM recap as well, because we all know what my recaps are like.
Yeah, Max just said it too, except Corey. No recaps for him because his are stuff happened, things died, and we got loot. It's like, all right,
Basically, that's mine.
don't trust elves.
It's the murder hobo recap.
Hey, I'm not a hobo. I have a house.
Do you?
Do you?
Yes.
Well,
I
that's-
don't. It's not here. It's that way.
It's
You don't have a
somewhere
house, do
else.
you?
All right. Well, I guess we are.
Ren, does he have a house?
I
Does he
used to have a
house?
house.
I mean, I would assume you all technically have houses. You're just not. You just don't have houses here because you're off adventuring.
Exactly.
No, I don't have a house.
Oh well, she's a murder hobo.
Out of my own.
Arthur Greenfowl is a murder hobo.
Well, I had a house and then stuff happened, so.
Stuff and
I
things.
lived
We don't,
Anyway.
on
we don't talk about those things just yet. Not until their story applicable. Anywho, let's get this started. So, we'll go around the table, and everyone will get to introduce yourselves, and we'll do this
Wait, are we. Why?
because you're going to say who you are and what your character is.
Oh, I thought we'd do that once they're introduced in game.
Nah, go ahead and tell everybody who you are and who you're playing.
Okay.
You don't have to go first. You can have somebody else take the lead.
Morph, go first.
Yeah, I'm just kind of
Well,
thrown
okay.
off because it's not really
Throw it
indicative to
all on me.
roleplay.
Well, okay. Well, my name's Tola Veridin. I'm a turtle sorcerer. I was sent away to train with my magics and stuff. I've been out of college for a while and learning a few different things. I mean, Ma and Da are very, very happy for it. They're elf folk, live in a fishing village. I miss them a lot, but I'm out adventuring now, 'cause I want to learn more about magic, and my teachers say the best experience is hands-on. So, I'm just, I'm looking to make some friends, make some enemies, kill some fools. I don't know. Whatever's a good day.
Kill some fools. All right, I like
Kill
it.
some fools. Okay, thank you, Turtle. I'll go next. Hello, everyone. I am Sky Moonstride. As you can tell, I am a halfling, and very happy to be so. I just recently got into town from way up north where I used to live. Just somewhere that way. He points north. And I got into town, and I thought it was great, right up until somebody told me into an alleyway. I thought, sure, nothing bad could happen, so I went back there with them. And I don't remember much after that. I woke up being upside down, being held by a giant furry woman. It was a very strange day. But now we're friends, I think. I think she wants to eat me, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that's been my day.
Great.
What the
Nice.
fuck?
Wow.
Yeah, that's
And you're
great.
like, okay, well, I
Good-
mean, Taylor.
Good segue into our next.
Is it?
Yes.
Yep.
Because I am that giant furry woman.
There we go.
So people are gonna have to forgive me, because I do not do voices very well, but I'll do my best.
Mhm.
Also, she talks in the third person, so this is gonna be really awkward.
Oh man, just do what you
That's what
gotta
role playing
do.
is all about.
Yeah.
Just
I
be the
know.
character.
I just gotta get into it. All right.
Come on.
Ruzari is Ruzari, and she comes from a bugbear tribe. But don't tell anybody that she is a bugbear, because she don't think that many people know that. Ruzari is druid of the forest and have lots of good times running around, doing magic. Went to this strange town, saved a little person from getting beat up. He pretty beat up though. Thought about eating him, decided not to eat him. Now following him around, just so that keep safe, because he is tiny and want to get him beat up. So that was day.
I don't want to get beat up. That
Are you
just
sure?
happened. Look, why am I talking to God? Never mind.
Yeah, really.
Hello. Hello, it's me, Sky. Are you there, God?
Anyway.
And last but certainly not least, because we have one player missing,
Ah. I'm Arthur Greenfoil. I came from a tribe of forest elves, and well, I didn't really like it there very much, aye. So I set off for my own adventure and found a few interesting things. And now here I am. Off for adventure. He gives a little shrug and smile. Like, that's me.
and that's him. All right, so
He's very simple.
simple man with a stabby heart.
No, not at all.
What? No.
No.
All right, great. So you're all starting at the village of Stillwater. Stillwater's a special place in my heart. It's my just normal intro homebrew town. It's a quiet village on the river within the kingdom of Ralia. As you all know, the kingdom of Ralia has recently been in a stalemate war, kind of Cold War-ish political climate, with an elven kingdom called the Sainafate Empire. We have
Can you type these?
what? They're actually in,
Like,
they're
can you
actually in,
type it out?
they're actually in your lore.
Okay.
I am one of those awesome DMs who compiles big things of lore that I expect my players to never read.
I read it.
I'm glad you did. Yeah, there's a little bit of background lore, and there's going to be stuff getting added as we go. just because it's a homebrew and I'm building it from the ground up as we all discover this world around us. So the Elven Kingdom to the east is the Cenophae Empire. It's comprised of High Elves, Dark Elves, and the Wood Elves. They basically did a trio formation after Ralia's expansion from the west became too much, and they were on the point of near extinction. Like, they were getting deforested to the point where they were getting pushed back, and they decided to band together and said enough was enough, because, 3 small kingdoms pushing back against one gave them enough momentum to keep this war going for quite a long time. But humans had the numbers and they had the longevity, and they basically fought to a stalemate. And now it's kind of, if you want to put it in real world perspectives, they're kind of like North and South Korea, where there's a nice demilitarized zone where you're not supposed to cross. Citizens can still cross with like permits and things like that, but the armies are on their own sides of the border, and there's a nice little tract of land where nobody is supposed to cross over and do any hostile engagements. It doesn't stop adventurers and the random folk from moving, but basically it's been about 20 years since the war ended, and it's still fresh in the humans' minds, and elves are long-lived enough that they don't forget. They remember when it started, and most of them are not going to forget anytime soon. Yeah, it's like an eye blink. And basically there's atrocities on both sides. Nobody was in the right, nobody was in the wrong. From the human side, they're allied with the halflings and the dwarves. Hello. They're allied with the humans and the dwarves, or the halflings and the dwarves. And basically the dwarves and the halflings are in the northern lands, and they're the skilled craftsmen and the people who armed Ralia with technology to fight back against the elves and their more powerful magics, because humans and dwarves and halflings are okay with magic, but it's one of those things where everybody always learns magic from the elves, and when the elves said they had enough, they withdrew all of that. So there's no real formal human magic society. They're kind of like, oh, we have scraps and bits and pieces of information that we captured from the elves, but we're not as good at magic, so they compensate with technology and wonderful inventions called Warforged, because they can fight without resting. We're starting, as I said, in Stillwater, very far to the south of the main capital of Ralia, and it is a nice sleepy village located on a river.
Really far away.
You walked really far away, it's true. You're a far traveler. Ruz is a far traveler. Actually, you're all pretty much far travelers, because you've got the Turtle King coming from Elflands, and you've got 2 elves coming from Elflands. The thing about Stillwater is, it's right there on the border, so it's not uncommon for elves to be wandering in if they say that they're, not going to misbehave because they're on the Rallian side. But it's also where a lot of the half-elves ran, because half-elves are not very well liked in the Cenophae Empire because they have that dirty human blood. And so, while humans are not as trusting of elves, they're sympathetic to half-elves because they still have that bit of humanity in them.
Okay.
Alright, so,
Yeah.
Shay finally made it. Hello.
I got delayed.
We figured as much, and so that's okay. But why don't you go ahead and tell us who you are and a little bit about your character.
My name is Shay, and I'm playing Lee. Her full name's Azalee, but nobody knows that because she's not saying as much. She is a bard. She's very she carries her instruments with her, and is curious and very, very well dressed. And her skin and her appearance kind of feel that she hasn't really a lot of trouble or anything. She has not had a hard life.
One of those fancy princess types. All right. So
she's the rich kid. Gotcha.
she's the
I'm
rich,
the rich
kid.
kid.
With fancy barred clothes and manicured nails.
Does she have a big hat with like a really big peacock feather in it?
God, I hope so.
Yes. It's a really frilly.
You cut out there.
Yeah, you keep cutting out a lot, actually.
Sorry.
What were you saying about the hat?
Her hat has a really nice, frilly purple feather.
Excellent.
No.
Fantastic. Alrighty. You all said you wanted to meet up. You didn't want to be connected together going in, correct? That was the majority
that's
consensus.
up to you, DM.
It's like, I don't remember anymore, so I'll just nod.
I recall people saying they wanted to meet up, but for my
No,
reason,
let's meet up.
for my sake, I'll say
I
you've
would
all.
the idea
Sorry.
It's like, I've met up with this one.
of meeting up, and actually, I did write out my character's description.
Okay.
So Azalee is thin, willowy, and pale, unmarred skin. Hair with like shimmers of teal in it. And like I said, the fancy fine silk clothing, violet eyes.
She's a fancy girl.
I'm a fancy girl.
What you did miss from everybody else, Tula is a dragon, or dragon sorcerer, but he's a turtle. He's a dragon turtle.
Turtle.
Yeah,
He's a dragon turtle.
we have a nice halfling coming in. We have a bugbear lady now, but you don't know that because she keeps her face hidden. There's another wood elf with you, and I think that's everybody, right? Yeah, that's everybody. All right. Okay, so since we have at least one group of people who are coming in together, Sky and Ruz, you've arrived at Stillwater. It's about late afternoon, early evening when you reach the town. You're crossing in over this little bridge here. This is more of a small stream. There's a larger river further up, which is where they do most of their fishing, but the stream also provides a good bit of food and economy for people there, and as well as some travel too. But as you're making your way in, you're noticing that there's a large human population. You can't really make out any other races. Maybe there's, one or two dwarves here, but it's a small town.
There's currently a kaiju.
There is currently a kaiju. Thank you, Morph.
I don't know how I did that.
You probably dragged your picture and dropped it in.
Yeah, we gotta make tokens for you guys.
You've got tokens, just not on this map.
Who else, by the way, who else? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I was just curious if anybody else drew their picture.
No.
I had mine drawn, yes.
I'm a terrible artist and ripped something that looks like my character from Google.
Yep.
I got my character designed by an artist I know.
I'm also poor, so I couldn't hire an artist.
Yeah, that's it.
If this takes off a little bit, then I might be able to try and draw our characters.
I will love you forever.
I did draw Lay.
So, as we're walking across the bridge, Sky is gazing around wide-eyed like a really, really dumb tourist. He's been to the town before, obviously, since Ruz rescued him, but he's still in awe of everything.
Don't go down any alley.
I won't! Jeez! One time!
More like four. Happened four
One
times.
time! And he's holding his hand up
Lee.
with just one finger, and he's pressing it against Ruz's belly, because that's about as far as he can reach, despite being... How tall is Ruz?
She is 6'5". She is
Okay.
a tall girl.
She big.
Nearly up to her chest, because he's a tall halfling. He's about 4 feet tall, but he's still just like, as far as I can go.
She picks him up by the wrist and then uses her other hand to move three other fingers up and then put him back down. 4 times.
If others are around, they can see him just squinting up at the cloaked furry, because I don't think her arms are covered.
Her disguise is really not that great. Like her face is really the only thing that is remotely covered. Like
Oh.
she has an outfit on, and she's wearing a bear pelt for a cloak, and there's actually the bear's head is kind of serving as a pauldron.
Oh, and
But other than that, it's very obvious that she's not a human.
bear. No kidding.
And you guys are definitely making a scene.
Yep.
Since it's a small village, and there are enough people out in this early evening that they can see you. You know,
And to
having
make
having
matters-
this loud conversation.
To make matters worse, my halfling is in normal clothing, so that's good. Just like average traveler's clothes. But he has just all of the weapons. All of them. He's got 2 axes belted to his sides. He's got a backpack, of course. 4 javelins sticking out of the backpack. And then a short sword, which is tied to on his back as well.
He's
Oh,
not good
weapons.
day when Ruz is conspicuous.
Oh,
Yeah,
d-
he's
shut up. Let's just.
he's ready to go.
Oh, shut up! And he just
All right.
huffs a little bit and starts walking towards the guard post. Great, now they're going to stop us again. Of course they are, because I'm scary and you're furry. I don't get it.
Scary and furry. As you approach the guard post that is situated on the town side of the bridge, because they like to monitor who's coming and going, and makes a nice little kill point for any bandits who think they want to try anything funny. You see that there's only one man there. He's sitting in a chair, leaned up against the little watchtower, and he's got a staff and a bow with a little quiver set by his feet more than across his back or at the ready. And he kind of looks up at you and he's like, "Evening."
Hi! And I just wave both arms up and joyously.
Ruz just
Right.
face palms.
Right. Yeah, the guy, he's definitely receptive to the enthusiasm, but he's looking you down, and then he looks Ruz up and down, and he's kind
Lord,
of like,
these crazy people.
he's kind of like, "Man, it's 20 minutes till I'm off shift. What is this?" But he
Hi!
he looks at you with
I-
a smile, and he's just like, "What can I do for you?"
Hi,
people?"
we're adventurers. Where's the nearest tavern or guild? And you see
Yeah.
him when he says this. When he says tavern, he just points left. When he says guild, he points right. His arms are fully outstretched in both directions.
Adventurers.
Can you not tell?
Oh, no, we can tell. Listen, Stillwater's a bit of a quiet town, and we've had a lot of adventurers coming through lately, especially since that place got put up. You and your friend,
Which place?
well, I'm getting there. And this is him saying it with a bit of frustration, and he's kind of rubbing the side of his head too, kind of like Ruz was. But he's like, well, there's an inn and tavern that's been put up not too long ago. It caters to. He looks at Ruz again and her giant stature. People like you. They call it Grog's Place. We really don't like having the adventurers in town because, no offense, but you all bring trouble wherever you go. And with Grog's Place being just on the outskirts, we can keep the adventurers, I wasn't trying to say riffraff or anything, we keep you people on that side of the town where it's safer for you.
But our entire job is to find danger. If it's safe, what's the point?
Well, it's safer for us. You, on the other hand, seem more than capable of handling the trouble you find. So, I can show you the directions to get over there, but just be open-minded about it. There are a lot of people here in the town.
Sky looks at the guard, then looks up at Ruz, then looks back at the guard with a just cant of his head when he mentions open-minded, and you get the idea that he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm good."
Well, as long as you're prepared. And he kind of looks at the two again, and he's like, wow, just you've got the feeling that he's trying to figure out how this works, and if the innuendo doesn't sink in, he's definitely not gonna explain it. But he's just like, yeah, wow, okay. So you're gonna want to head west, just down the side road there. There's a sign for Grog's. You can spell, right?
Yes.
Okay, Grog's. Grog. You'll see it. There's a nice sign. He put a surprising amount of work in it and managed to actually spell it correctly.
Okay. Just point me in the direction.
You're gonna go west, and he
Okay.
points west to make it easier, and he
Got
gestures
it.
off to his right. He's like, "You'll just go down that way. There are a couple shops and stuff if you want to peruse the local wares before you end up there. But just keep your adventuring out of the town. Well, there's a quest board and stuff that they send any of the business that the town can't handle to Grog's as well. So if you're looking for work, your best chance is there as well."
Okay, thanks a lot, Mink. And Sky moves to grab Ruz by the hand, and if she allows it, he will then take off running. And by running, I mean he is doing like this little Sonic the Hedgehog in place while trying to pull Ruz along.
This is embarrassing for everyone
Come on,
involved.
let's go.
Like this pile of dirt forming behind him.
She,
He's
yeah,
just
she
picking
just,
up a cloud.
she just kind of goes along with it at this point, probably somewhat resigned to her fate.
All right, great.
Why
It's not.
did I do this?
It's not long after they take off down the road that a turtle man starts waddling his way across the bridge. He's greeted by the same tired-looking guard who, upon seeing the turtle,
Oh God.
exhales a deep sigh. And yeah, he doesn't say it, but it's on his face. Just, oh God, why?
This is the day I'm gonna have.
Oh, hello there. Hello.
And what exactly are you?
I'm a turtle. Traveler. Yes. Hi, I'm Tola.
Well, Tula, you're an interesting looking fella. I've never heard of a turtle, but you weren't with the others that just came this way, were you?
Others? No. I've been traveling by myself.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, are you looking for anything in particular, stranger?
I'm looking for a place with books, some good food, and I guess somewhere that people look for stuff to get done. I think they called it adventurers or something.
Yeah, that would figure. Okay, well, for the first inquiry, there is actually a library here in town. You might not want to try and look for it tonight, since it's getting a bit late. As for your question about lodging and work, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the same thing I just told the last two came by. You're not gonna find much luck in town, but there is a place to the west of here, and he gestures again to his right. Just follow this road here. It's gonna take you a little ways out of town, but not too far. Still technically part of the Stillwater proper. It's called Grog's Place. Just try and keep an open mind when you get there, and they'll treat you right if you got the money.
I wouldn't be a great magic man if I didn't have an open mind, but thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It's definitely turning out to an interesting day. Have a good one. Don't cause any trouble.
Oh, never. Thanks. Have a good day, person man.
Yep, yeah, you too. He just kind of shrugs, and he's like, "Well, this is getting really weird."
Before we move on, just for my notes, how far away is Grog's place from the town?
This is about a 10-minute walk, so it's far. It's technically kind of like it's outskirties. It's still within the town, but the townspeople are comfortable enough with the distance where they don't have to be.
They don't
like,
want a hyperactive, happy halfling around.
It's more for the noise. They're like, oh, this is you'll see when you get there. They're like,
Yeah, I understand.
They had this place established outside for reasons. All right, so after that, which elf wants to be first, or do both of you want to be coming from the same general direction?
I was gonna already be in town.
Alrighty, well then, Arthur, you've been in town. You've been noticing, though, that as you're moving about town, doing your business, quotation fingers, that the people are watching you with an especially wary eye. A lot of people are, what would be the word? They're kind of
Racist bastards.
they're kind of cautious around you. If you've gone into any shops, you know, the shopkeeper is always like kind of conveniently sweeping down the same aisle or corner that you're in. They're keeping an eye on you, because not many elves come through, especially this close to the border, and they're not, you know, nobody's throwing rocks or anything, but you're getting a general feeling that it's not a welcome place, especially from the humans.
I've been here before. What happened this time? Who did something?
It was ye.
Arthur.
Are you addressing anyone in particular, or was he just musing?
Musing, but kind of hoping someone heard him.
As you ask that, you see a little kid. He's kind of like walking with his mother, and he points, and he's like, "Mommy, is he gonna kill us?" And she just kind of pulls her child away, and she's like, "No, Tommy, we're going to live. Don't worry, the guards are keeping an eye on him."
It was like the biggest thing. Arches his brow like, the fuck? I've been here before.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And so, you know, basically, the townspeople are just kind of keeping a wide breath. But, you know, at the mention of a guard, you're approaching the bridge where this guardsman has been dealing with all the other people, and you do catch the shell of a strange turtle wandering to the west, and he kind of looks at you, and he's like, "Arthur, you
Hey,
you okay there? I see people are giving you the eye."
I don't really know why. I haven't done anything today. Has someone else done something this week?
Today.
It seems like something happened this week.
Oh, not today. Certainly not anything you're doing. People are just on edge. There's rumors that other rumors all the time coming in that, you know, there's little border skirmishes, and, you know, news of tension of the war might be sparking up sometime soon. But that's all. It's all hearsay. Long as the noble children are swapped around, you know, there's no real incentive for anyone to be causing any trouble. But between you and me, I hear there might be a Death Watch agent skulking around the area. Heard talk of it.
A Death Watch?
Particularly for you and Shay, you know that Death Watch is a group of drow special forces within the Saint of Fate military. Yeah, they're basically I wouldn't say like SEAL Team 6, but, you know, they're basically like they're the people you call to get some questionable shit done. They're not assassins, but they're the military force that handles the dirty jobs. And so, you know, basically in all three of the Elven cities, there are headquarters for Death Watch. And basically, if you run into a Death Watch guy, it's kind of a big deal, especially for elves. Like, dark elves are not drow in typical D&D fashion where they're evil and they worship things. These are just dark elves. You know, they just have the differing philosophy on in how to approach things. They're a little more extreme than the regular elves.
Right.
Now I'm curious. Not that I know this, but do drow still exist, like as in Underdark versions?
No, they are not Underdark. They're not Underdark drow. They're still the black-skinned, white hair.
Okay.
But basically,
They're Morrowind Dark Elves.
what's that?
Like Morrowind Dark Elves.
Yeah, they're kind of Dunmurray. They're not the same principle where they got cursed that way. It's just that racial distinction is they just have the dark skin and white hair. Their city is under perpetual twilight, which is where the dark part of the dark elf comes from. They still operate nocturnally. They don't have light blindness, but they prefer doing their stuff at night. They still have a fascination with mushrooms and spiders and all that, but they're not underground and they're not evil.
Okay.
So yeah, so he passes along that rumor that there might be a Death Watch agent skulking around, but he says it's just rumor and hearsay. He hasn't actually seen anything.
To be fair, you wouldn't see them anyway.
That's
Well-
true. That's true. If what I heard from the war, and he's only a young man. He probably doesn't look over 25. So the war would have been something when he was just a kid. But he's like, from what I heard of the war, it definitely wouldn't have been a good thing if I did run into one.
No, it wouldn't be. Though that kind of stuff is why I left my home, so hopefully it didn't follow me somehow.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. We wouldn't want any of that trouble following you. You're a good one, Arthur. You're one of the good ones. He says that not
Thank
to be
you.
like racist, like you're one of the good ones, but he's genuinely giving you a compliment that you're a good guy, and he's like, yeah, you're a good one. You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I don't know who
as-
this Charlie Brown is, but thanks lots.
he sounds like a
Hey, real
swell
quick.
fella. Yep.
DM, you said there was a board for jobs and stuff. Is that at Grog's as well?
Yeah, that
Okay.
what I had told them was it was at Grog's, but you would have had enough time to know
Yeah.
that that's sort of the place. You personally haven't gone over there. You don't like going to Grog's unless you have to.
It's like
But
the
you've-
Mos Eisley.
You've noticed that tension in the town is kind of steering you in that direction because the regular inn for humans and Raleighan citizens, the prices have gone up to what would be considered robbery. It's like, oh, this is
Conveniently only for elves.
yeah, it's well, not just elves, but it's anything that's been deemed
Not human.
outsiders. Not even not human, because the Raleigans are open to halflings and dwarves. It's not
Sorry.
a human master race kind of ideal. It's definitely a American.
It's not Rallian.
It's a not Raleighan thing, and elves are distinctly not Raleighan. Most elves are proud to be Sainafate.
Except this one.
Except this one. And so, as the guardsman's kind of talking to you, he's like, you still looking for work? Because I saw a couple of people heading down to Grog's to post some
Ugh.
jobs, and yeah, I know you've been avoiding it. It's kind of it's a place. Can't argue with his prices though. Not a bad deal.
Why the prices in the usual inns have conveniently gone up.
Yeah, gone
So-
up, gone up for Sainafates, I imagine. Well,
I
you know the way to get there, and
I've seen it many times, just never went there.
I'd offer you a place to stay at mine, but the wife, she's
Oh, no, I don't want to impose.
well, thank you for that. It saves me sleeping on the couch. So I guess I'll see you when I see you.
Wait. His
Dude,
wife
you
is gonna let Arthur sleep in the bed
Right?
with her?
No,
Wait a minute. What?
no, that is not at all what he's implying. It's
Okay,
it's
I
more
was
it's
gonna
more of
say.
it's
Is
more
this
of
a
what
Rallian
More so
what's that?
doing it without asking her. Basically.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
a Rallian
that's-
system?
no, it's more of the why are you bringing this elf into our house?
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking the same thing Ruz was. I'm like,
I was. Well, I kind of figured that it was you're on the couch because you brought this into my house, but I just couldn't
I
let
would-
it go uncommented on.
I would be mad, but he's so pretty. You're on the couch tonight. He can come.
No.
Arthur's like, I just
Wording.
want to go to sleep, ma'am.
it's
I
like,
just went to the bed.
it's like, no, I'll just snuggle on the couch with him.
Basically.
All right, yeah. So,
I mean, he'd rather do that, but anyway.
anyways,
Um,
yes. So, Arthur, are you heading down west to check out Grog's place finally?
yeah. Arthur again says thank you to the guard and wishes them a good day, and then big sigh and goes towards Grog's.
Alrighty. Lastly is Lay, or Lee.
I've been pronouncing it Lee.
Lee. Okay, I'll remember that. So Lee, you're the last to arrive. You've come across the bridge, and the guard is actually getting up now at this point. It's been his... Excuse me. Had a little burp there. I had to click off. He's finally getting ready to close his shift out, and he sees you coming, and he has that inward, for fuck's sake. he looks at you, and he gives you one once over, and he's like, 2 elves in 1 day. This is just my luck. Hi, welcome to Stillwater. Present your papers, declare your intent, and what your business is in Stillwater.
And I reach into my bag and I pull out my scroll of pedigree. Out to him.
He takes it, he looks it over real quick, and he's visibly impressed, and he's like, oh, fancy one coming through. So, it doesn't really explain.
And I don't suppose you could recommend the most comfortable place to sleep?
You see him consider for a minute. He's thinking about it, and he smiles for a moment, and he's like, oh, yes, absolutely. I know just the place where you can go. You're going to want to head to the west, and he gestures to his right. There's a nice inn, cozy, off the side, away from all the noise of the town. You wouldn't want to be bothered with such things. You'll notice it when you see it. The tavern and inn is called Grog. Grog. It's very fancy, highly reputable.
That's
Wonderful. Yes.
awesome, but man, what an asshole.
And he does. He has the biggest shit-eating grin on his face as he's politely telling you which way to go, and he's like, and madam, let me tell you that it's one of the highly reputable establishments here at Stillwater. I just hope that our human accommodations will befit your grace and beauty. And he gives a bow, but it looks slightly mocking because he's Rallian, and you know enough that the Rallians don't treat your people very well, especially a noble dignitary, because he's just a guard and he doesn't. He's being.
He says no need for that.
Sorry.
I am just visiting.
Oh, well, I hope you enjoy the stay and you tell everybody about the hospitality of Stillwater. And he's.
What's your name?
I'm sorry. Jay, I'm losing you.
What is your name, sir?
Oh, you can call me. And he pauses and he thinks and he consults his notes. You can call me Darwin. It's nice to meet you.
Do you know any place that I might be able to play my music?
Oh, Grog's has a stage, I hear. a lot of great music and people who come through there. It would be a good spot for you to play your music.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Oh,
You made
yes.
my later.
Thank you, and have a great evening. All right, so with everybody moving towards the direction of Grog's place, as you're traveling, the winding road leads you around the city, or not city, it's a town, leads you around the town, off into the outskirts. There's a couple of nice trees, and there's a large, surprisingly well-built 2-story inn that's set up here. You can hear it as you're approaching, that it is very loud and raucous, and there's sounds of music and off-key singing. There's some... It's just a really, really rough and tumble sounding place. But the sign is hanging there, and it says, Grog's Place. Outsiders... Oh, sorry, I lost the button there. It says, Grog's Place. Outsiders welcome, written underneath it. But Sky and Ruz in particular, as you guys are approaching, you notice that the word welcome has UN scratched into it next, or in front of welcome. And there's very clearly an attempt to kind of like scrape it away so that it's not noticeable,
Uh-huh.
but it's still distinctly there.
By the way, Rez, I only did the whole Sonic the Hedgehog pulling thing for about 30 seconds. It did not last the entire trip.
Uh-huh.
Whatever. Please stop. Sky is just squinting at the sign. Huh. I don't think they like us. Looks up at Ruz. What did you do to make them not like us?
Just sighs and walks into the tavern.
Hey! He runs behind her.
And so as
Rin,
yeah,
is this the same place that I was sent to?
Yeah, huh?
yeah,
Absolutely, 100% yes.
yes, this is absolutely where you've been sent. You
You could just call it something else.
oh no. You probably are like, this is a mistake. This can't be Grog, but it's distinctly Grog, Grog, as you approach. So yeah, it's
Oh, that
very.
asshole, and I did them too.
It's like, yeah, you get the feeling that he conned you, and you're for the sake of brevity, you're all kind of arriving at the same time because it's not a very far distance to travel. But as you're arriving, and Sky is like, oh, I don't get the feeling that outsiders are welcome here. You open the door up, and everything goes quiet as the door opens, and particularly Sky, as you step in, you're greeted by a large, taller, 7.5, almost 8 feet tall, widely built man. He comes rushing at you, and he scoops you up into his arms, and this man is ugly as the day is long. He's got a big bulbous nose, he's got crooked, jagged teeth with like fangs coming out from the bottom. He's got a nice little underbite. He's got big beady yellow eyes, messy black hair, and he scoops you up, and he's like, "Hey, we don't get many bite-sized ones coming around here. It's good to see you." And he kind of leans in, and he's like, "You smell good, boy. I bet you taste good too."
Put me down or I'll break your nose again. Because it looks like it's been broken a couple times.
He pauses, and he starts laughing.
Are
He
my
start-
arms unbound? Does
No, he grabbed you distinctly by the arms, and he just like you're a sack of potatoes. He's just lifted you up because he's just a massive man. Ruz, you're able to immediately notice that this man has ogre-like qualities. Distinctly that he's kind of a half-breed. He's a half-ogre. But as he's lifting you up, Sky, he starts laughing at your response. And he's like, oh, I'm just kidding, lad. I like doing that to the new folk who come around here. It's not every day that a halfling does wander in, though. I wasn't kidding about smelling nice either.
Squint.
And he sets you down slowly and he rustles your hair. And as the rest of you start filing in, his smile fades as he notices the two elves coming in a little ways. And then
Arthur's kind of hides his face.
Gorgeous place.
Gruge. So I see Darwin sent a Cenefit my way. Yeah.
Did I pronounce
Arthur?
it right?
No, you didn't. It's Grog. Grog's a family name, too, so you best not be disrespecting my father.
Arthur's like has the hood up, hiding his face, going to like the back corner. Like, I'm gonna just go sit over here.
Is your grog as good as the name? He says,
As,
Secret is coming right back.
As a matter of fact, it is. Not only is it as good as the name, and as good as the man who built this place, but our prices are far nicer than what you'd find inside the town. Anyways, welcome. I'm Grog. You're
Hi,
in my...
Grog. I'm Sky.
Sky, nice to meet you. It's funny, most people ask me how the weather's up here. I imagine you don't see the sky with somebody as big as I am. You got a turtle behind you.
Hello.
Russ just turns around and is like, oh shit, we do.
We have a what now? Slowly turns. Ah! That's a shell. Yes,
He's
that's
just
that is
happily
what that
waving.
is.
Hello.
Fascinating. Are you some kind of fae?
But he's dressed in elven garb. That's elven cloth at least, and is just smiling. No, Faye? No, I've learned about them a lot actually. At my magic school, but no, not a Faye. I'm a turtle.
Oh, that's marginally less interesting.
Well, turtles are interesting, but not as interesting as fae. They're very rare in the mainland. They're more in the southeastern isles because they're turtles. As particularly his breed are dragon turtles, or at least they say they are. They like being aquatic, and they have a couple of islands that they claim to their own, but they're kind of allied with the Cenefate, but not necessarily part of the Empire. They would be like what you'd consider like auxiliaries in the fighting force, if they ever call on them. But they have their own autonomy. They're allowed to operate and do their own thing, because just like you'd see with Tula, they're pretty mellow.
Sky, just changing topics, all of a sudden looks right at Lee and just goes, "How can you not find this interesting?" And he walks behind the turtle. It's like a giant walking drum, and then he'd start drumming on the shell.
It's not a giant drum with wings.
Tola would just pull himself into a shell and flop down on the ground.
I like him.
I have no words for this.
That was
I'm
very sudden. He pulls himself out of his shell and stands back up. Please don't use the shell as a drum. It's very spiky. How are your hands okay?
He shows the tiny halfling hand.
They went between the spikes.
And it's not very good to be disrespecting someone else's culture, especially not around here.
I didn't disrespect the culture. I noticed it looked like a drum. It's obviously he doesn't understand.
Right.
Hey, Ren,
Yes.
is there a piano in the inn?
As a matter of fact, there is.
I'll go to it. And
There's currently a group of people that are playing up there right now, but it looks like they're finishing up their set, and they're collecting up the gold that's been set in a little little hat on the end of the stage. But they're wrapping up, and as you wander off, Grog just kind of shrugs, and he's like, elves. Anyways,
But don't be disrespecting nobody else's culture.
don't disrespect outsider culture. Elves aren't outsiders. Except when they are.
What's wrong with elves?
Oh, that wasn't in character. But he kind of looks y'all over, and he's like, well, since you're here, welcome. You're more than welcome to stay as long as you need, as long as you've got the coin. We've got plenty of food and drink, and there's lots of warm beds for all of you. If you're looking for a place to stay, it's not going to cost you much.
I said
How much?
Arthur's like in the corner pulling an Aragorn, just put up in the corner. Like, I'm gonna just
It's
watch.
entertainment as payment. And I sit down at the piano very carefully, and I would like to cast Unearthly Chorus and start playing.
So then, as Lee sits down and she starts up her piano, unfortunately, I don't have the music ready for it. But we'll set up a little playlist for you next time, because I want you to be able to do
is
something
there-
like that.
Songs. I don't know if it has it or not, but if I think
It goes by Spotify.
Does it?
If you're thinking of songs
It says fan burst.
to play.
if it's on Roll20 or not.
It's not. That's why I was.
Shy Boy by District 78.
Yeah, I was looking. It wasn't on there. Let's see.
I don't know. I
I
wrote down
can,
a few like violin songs,
hang on. I can make do with this. Hold on.
or just songs that have them in there.
Hang on. I can make do. Let me find something here.
Well, I've been playing my own music this whole time
sorry.
because there's no music going.
There isn't. That's true. Because I knew the bard was going to be
Found
doing
it.
stuff like this.
Very sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm
I
trying
was
to.
hoping that I'd be here a half hour early, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, it happens. It's life. My Spotify's not working.
Ruz is gonna go and sit with Arthur so that
Yeah,
they can-
while
they
while
can
everybody's
be
while everybody
hood wearing buddies.
while she's setting up her music, just let me know what everybody else is doing.
Wait,
I'm figuring out.
Rosari went over.
Yep.
Arthur?
I'm
Yeah,
figuring out
Rez
how
is
much
sitting next to
money
Arthur.
It is
Mm.
for a room, and then I'm going to order alcohol.
All
Arthur
right.
kind of stares at Rosari. Like, what the fuck are you?
Sorry, just kind of stares back, just gives a polite nod, and she thinks that this is where people with hoods go.
He gives a nod back. I'm like, okay. Doesn't say anything though.
Oh,
It's
neither
kinda
does she.
looking at-
This is like a super like this is super awkward for everyone.
Hmm. And he doesn't really know what to say, so he's just gonna stay quiet and be like, "Please, someone come by with ale or something, please." Like, looking out to the patrons for help. Like, who is this?
Hello,
So
and
for
researching.
for Sky in particular, he's like, oh well, the room itself is only going to be. He kind of counts on his fingers. It's gonna run you like. I'm gonna have to cut a bed in half for you, aren't I? It's gonna be about.
No, I can sleep in a normal sized bed.
It's a
It's
silver.
just really big.
Well, we actually we've got the flop, and he gestures to the far side of the tavern. There's a door there. He's like, that's for the drunks and the folk who can't pay. We don't like putting people out on the streets. That area is free, but it's mostly just hay and some pillows. You gotta be careful there, though. There's no fighting allowed, and no funny business either. There's a real low tolerance for it. Matilda won't allow such a thing. And when he mentions Matilda, he gestures behind the bar, and there's another equally large and ugly as sin half ogre woman behind the bar.
Okay.
she's got long curly dark hair, and she's just covered in pock marks, and just the typical ogre features are very prominent in both of these people. There's also a third half ogre. He's looks more like a bouncer. He's very muscular in his more rotund shape, but he's big, large, and he's very gruff and mean looking too. But he's just kind of watching people, and but he goes back and he's like, Matilde won't really tolerate any of the funny business. It's bad for the sheets, and washing out blood isn't very good either.
Sky interrupts. Oh, is that your wife, daughter, niece, aunt? He just starts
Employee.
rambling off family titles.
Employee.
Oh, okay.
The same thing can be
No
said
relation.
about him. He gestures over to the bouncer. He's not family either, at least outside of being kin.
So how much?
A
Trying to
silver,
get back on top.
silver for the room. If you want your own room, it's a silver. We have the flop that's free, and there's a group room for adventuring types like you, where it's a 4-bedroom and it's only 2 silver. It's a safe place, but there's no real privacy.
Oh, he pulls out 1 gold coin. How much can I get for this?
He scoops the coin up out of your hand, he rolls it across his fingers skillfully, rolls it back, he looks at it. Well, it's Rallian, so quite a bit. You looking to get change, or you just want to be able to drink all night?
Well, he's not a dwarf. It's obvious. It's way obvious that he doesn't really understand currency that well. So he's at a bit of a loss.
Give me
So-
an insight check.
Boop.
Sorry, I was gonna have
9.
Arthur say something. I'm sorry, I was blowing my nose.
Go.
Oh.
Oh, by
Because
all
I'm pretty
means.
sure Arthur can tell that this guy does not know about currency, right?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
He just pipes up like, just give him change.
Yes, very good.
He can decide if he wants to drink later, right?
That's fair. Yes, good. And
I can
He
decide
just-
later. I want to drink now.
Or that. Or
he
that.
said the reverse. Okay, so yeah, Grog kind of looks at both of you for a moment, but he seems to take Arthur's suggestion to heart, and he's like, "Aye, change. I think that'd be best for him." And he leads you over to the counter, and he sets the gold down, and Matilda looks at you, and she's like, "Huh, you're a tasty-looking morsel, aren't you? Well,
Please don't eat me. I've already experienced this for the past.
oh, don't worry.
How long has it been? 4 days? 4 days.
Don't worry, you'll be hearing it all night." And she kind of giggles a bit, if you could call it a giggle. But she goes into a lockbox, and she makes change for the gold, giving you back 9 silver, since you're just paying for a private room, right?
No, I'd get the adventure room because I want to pay for Ruz too.
Okay. So then she's gonna give you back 8 because he said 2. I said 2, right? 2.
You said 2.
Okay. So she's gonna hand you back the 8, and she's like, well,
How much
Yeah.
are drinks?
oh, not very expensive at all. It really depends on what you're wanting to get. Our basic stuff is only a couple copper. If you want some fancier wines and spirits, it's going to run you a few silver. And then we have a couple of select bottles here at the top. There's like a row of like 4 very expensive looking bottles. There's a red one, there's a green one with a fairy on it, there's one that is kind of like a deep purple, and it's just labeled Orphan Tears, and then there's a 4th one that's like a deep red.
Tears. Sky points out, looks at all the alcohol and points out the shit that looks like it came. Like, is there a whole bunch of fancy stuff, or do you have also just stuff in casks?
There's a bunch of fancy stuff. on the rack behind her, but they also have a tap, and basically
Okay. Does anything look like it comes from where I am from?
not likely.
Okay. It's like, I'll just take what's in there, and he points at the cask.
Ah.
He wants a half pint of grog.
No, I want all of the grog.
What? Phrasing. All right. So yeah, she's like, you're gonna want some of the grog special. That's good.
Grog-
Wait,
grog
did
says
she
it's
say?
the best
Did
grog.
Rosari say that out loud?
Does Rosario say what out loud? She hasn't said anything.
Okay, that
Okay,
was
yeah, that
the
was
math.
out-
No,
that
that
was
was
out of
me.
character.
Sorry.
Tola, sorry. Did Tola say that?
If I'm not doing the accent, no.
Okay. Well, I can't tell. Like, legit, can't tell if you're doing an accent or not.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So yeah,
I can't
so
tell.
she's gonna fill you up a pint, and she's like, the grog special. Well, hopefully
She
you can
starts
handle
filling
it.
up the pint, and I point to the biggest glass and be like, no, that one. 2 of those.
Okay, Goliath gulps it is, and she basically she reaches down and she pulls out, like, does anybody besides me occasionally frequent bars? I know some of you don't drink.
I don't drink, but I mean, I've seen enough movies that I
You
probably
know,
what you're
if
talking about.
you go to like TGI Fridays or a specialty bar and you order
Like
one
a
of
Stein is what I'm getting.
no, it's one of like the novelty cups where it's like
no.
it's like an obscenely big, and it's like it has Grog's Place written on it,
Okay,
and
I
it
get
looks
ya.
fancy, and it probably would come with an umbrella if it was a fruity drink. It's one of those. She starts filling 2 of those up, and she's like, all right, well, if you want the Goliath cups, it's gonna be a silver for the cups. You get to keep them though.
I pass her over 2 silver after she gives me the drinks. Thanks! And I take one in each hand. And I just, because they're massive, especially on me, start to just carefully waddle over to where Rose is. Rose, I got beer!
It's gonna be 5 times.
So Sky comes carrying these glasses that are much larger than his head, and it's really just a feat of strength that he's able to navigate through this tavern to get over to where Arthur and Ruz are sitting, and he's like, I got drinks, and
I'm making enough noise that they know where I am.
Arthur, you notice that he didn't offer you one.
I don't care. Yeah. Arthur does not mind that he was not offered a drink.
Tula, are you doing anything while you're sitting here?
Tola would just walk over to their table, like, messing with his stuff, look over to Arthur and be like, mind if I sit here? I'm not sure about the rest of these people, but I'm a little more at home around elf folk.
Apparently everyone else is sitting here, so I guess so. Go ahead.
Thank you.
It is a free country.
And he takes a seat, pulls out a small little scroll from his satchel, and just starts reading through it while waiting for anything. If someone were to come by for orders or anything, you'd probably be looking for just some food, basic drinks. Not really too keen on whatever alcohol is just yet.
Okay.
So I assume I eventually arrive.
Yeah, you made it there.
Okay. Russ, here you go. And he pops a huge drink in front of Russ. And this one's for me. And you have a crowded table. I should have gotten more drinks.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Sky. He says as he takes a massive mouthful of the grog.
And Tula, as far as the non-alcoholic beverages go, they've got water, goat's milk. They've got a couple of berry juices. Not many, apple. Well, they would tell you
juice.
they would tell you it's some cider with like some pomegranate and real fancy stuff. The juices would probably run a little more expensive because they have to actually, crush the fruits and stuff. It's not like real world where you can get a bottle of OJ.
Louise is really good.
Do you have
Yeah.
any dragon fruit juice?
No. Last I heard, the dragons don't like sharing their fruit. And she starts laughing.
I didn't know dragons ate fruit.
They don't.
It depends which kind, really.
I'll just have some apple cider then. Can I get a couple of like?
I love
cheese-
Arthur's
cheese
outward
biscuits.
cringes.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, what is going on right now? Why are these people here?
All right, so Matilda, hearing the order for cheese biscuits, she looks towards the kitchen, and she just goes, "Cheese biscuits, cheese biscuits." You hear from behind it, and she's like, "All right, that's not gonna take long. You just gotta pop them in the oven for you. Just go ahead and sit down at your table, and
Are
we'll
we
have
at
some."
Red Lobster? What's going on?
No, you're at
We're at
Grog's
Waffle
place.
House.
It's Red Lobster, apparently.
Waffle House.
Cheese
Like,
biscuits for everybody.
They can
man.
cook, man. He wanted some cheddar biscuits.
I was told it was.
So yeah, while this is all happening, Lee's playing her music. She's actually putting out a pretty energetic piano melody. A lot of the people are enjoying it, especially since it's loud enough that everybody can hear it. Nobody's booing her off the stage. It's a good it's an
I would
11.
hit with a 19. No, it's a 19. She gets
Advantage. You're right.
advantage.
Oh no, this is a fucking captivating performance. Everybody's enjoying this. She's pulling some Billy Joel, and everybody is captivated. The normal noise is quieted down, and it seems like there's even just a magical spotlight over her as she's slamming these keys to her melody. She's got it. She's got everybody captivated, and people are really into it. And so, once they're done, they leave her.
Okay, while they're doing that, Arthur just takes a random fucking thing out of his bag and starts twiddling with it because he's very uncomfortable right now.
When I finish, I stand up and I give a very elegant bow.
You managed to round up about 4 silver pieces, 3 gold, and 8 copper. So
Holy shit, somebody-
people were really impressed by this performance, and they leave some money in there. There's also a couple little scraps of paper, and somebody put some trash in there, but there's gold and some actual money. Yeah.
I will
So
look through the scraps of paper. Did anyone say anything?
He's looking for comments, suggestions, critiques.
yeah, you start noticing the usual assortment of YouTube comments. A lot of people saying you're really great, and then one person is just like, "Wow, this is terrible. You should stop making music. Just quit."
Throw that one away. You're
You should die.
fine. Jesus Christ, YouTube comments.
One of them seems to be some sort of invitation to a night out on the town.
What? No, that totally wasn't what I was whispering to her right now, Morph. God damn it.
Okay. Sky, meanwhile, has worked through half the glass.
Jesus Christ, you're gonna need to give me a con save at disadvantage.
At normal, I have an advantage on all con saves.
Well, there you go, at normal.
There you go.
14.
Arthur especially, you notice that he is just downing this thing, and when he sets it down to come up for air, he doesn't even look buzzed for his size.
Arthur is visibly, like, concerned. What's
Concerned
this?
and horrified. What's that?
Yeah, like, you are half my size. What the fuck? How? Didn't say any of this out loud, but he's giving you that look of how.
Sky just looks back. I can do the rest if you want. Just give me a minute. I gotta catch my breath.
No, just slow down. You're
How does it
very
all fit?
small.
How does it all fit in your stomach?
Magic. No, I'm kidding.
No,
It's a
it's
trait I
not
picked up from my dad.
It's not magic.
Do you have a bag of holding as your stomach? Anyway.
Fun
It seems most
fact.
halflings do.
Yeah, it's like fun fact. Halflings have 2 stomachs and 3 livers.
Yeah, I got this. Anyway, I'm Sky. Hi. Ruz. Immediately just turns and looks at Ruz. I got
Very
you a
high
drink.
clever.
Or, well, You said it's one room, but it has 4 beds. I'm a little confused. Do you all need a bed?
I
He
don't
goes
need
from
it.
Ruz to the table, and it's like flashes of lightning. His attention span.
Oh God,
gonna
is he
put
actually a
Ron.
Kender? Did you channel
No,
your
he's not a Kender. He's not stealing shit. He's not stealing shit and claiming it as his own like he found it. Because I know Kinder, and I'm not that bad.
I'm fine. So I don't need a room. I think.
I don't normally use beds. They kind of don't agree with
where would
Michelle.
where would you be sleeping, Arthur, if you didn't have a room?
He's thinking that right now. Where the fuck am I gonna go anyway?
Ah,
It's like I don't need a bed. It's like, well, they did tell me if I didn't have any money, I could go sleep out in the barn, but I have.
oh
these-
no
I
no
have
no
these-
not in the barn. There's
Or in the
there's
loft.
there's a flop room.
I'm
Like
gonna
a side room.
approach Grog and hold out a gold coin. Could you set aside your most comfortable room for me?
Ah, the lady wants the most comfortable room. Well, I think we can manage that for you. And he takes up the coin and rolls it across his fingers like he had done with Skies. And he looks over to Batilde and gets some change from her, and he hands you back 6 silver. And he's like, "Yeah, here, you're gonna go to 3C. It's the nicest one we've got." Out of character.
Very much.
Out of character, everybody but her is probably suspecting that the nicest room for a half ogre is probably one with clean sheets. So she might be, it's like she might be
That's in the right
disappointed.
direction.
Out of character, I suspect the nicest room is actually a really nice room, because everything this man has said has been true.
This is true.
I mean, to him, it is he did say it's the nicest room they have.
Also
So
true.
that
That could
it's
mean a
still
lot of
technically
things.
true.
And he wanted to yell at us if we got the sheets dirty in the flop. So I'm suspecting clean sheets everywhere.
Yeah.
That is fair. That's a fair assessment.
One room's on fire. One's filled full of water.
One doesn't even have a door.
Yeah, one's just.
That's the themed hall. Those are special. You got to pay extra for that.
Those are special for the racists.
Way to the outer realms.
Yeah, to the Alderans. Alderans. Oh my god. Their town
What?
hasn't been destroyed. No, just. My brain went a little
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was
No.
like, the fuck was that?
Well, okay then.
Ruz will look at Arthur and Tula and just say, Sky, generous or too generous, just say yes. We'll badger all night otherwise.
I'm not too generous. I am exactly enough generous, just like my dad taught me. And he
Big
nods
heart.
vigorously.
Big hot, tiny frame. But yeah, no, I'm okay just sleeping on the floor. Beds don't really work for me.
Yeah, Tula would probably be comfortable in the flop.
So, I mean, he sleeps in a shell, so
Exactly.
But thank you. So my name's Tola.
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 Tola Varadin.
Cool.
I'm just gonna go with Tola. He nods.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone would actually really notice or care, but he's thrown around an Elvish last name.
Sky doesn't know the difference.
The two
Runs
elves.
has
The
no
two
clue
elves
from
would
it.
distinctly care.
Yeah. Well, Arthur doesn't really care, but he noticed.
Yeah, it would like I say care as in you would immediately notice, and if it's not offensive, it would definitely be eyebrow raising. Like, really? What is that?
It's Tola what?
Varadin.
Varden.
You're marginally more interesting now.
Nice.
I have no
Yeah,
idea
I
if Green
spelled
Fowl
it out.
is a. It's the last name. Varden.
It sounds Greenfowl, at least to me, it sounds like when they give you the in 3.5, when they would give you the elven names, they would be like, here's the elven name, and then here's what the common translation would be, and it would be like Goldleaf or Swiftwind. That's
fair
so.
enough.
So I figured, at least for me, when I saw Arthur Greenfowl, I figured he took a human-sounding name so that the Rallians wouldn't be weirded out by him, and then Greenfowl was like, oh, I don't expect you to be able to pronounce it in Elven, so it's Greenfowl in common.
Green Hell. There we go. That's totally what. Totally, yeah. What he said.
That works. Let's go with that.
Arthur's literally just a character I had before, and I put him in D&D, and that was his name. So, I'm like, that sounds
Yeah,
Elven.
it's cool. It's all good.
It's cool. We will develop them over time or kill them horribly.
Exactly.
Oh, Jesus. Probably the
Use my
latter.
elven names.
Alrighty, so you're all sitting around drinking. The cheddar biscuits have finally arrived. It's a huge platter, Tola. It's probably like 24 of them stacked on a large platter, and there's actually a human girl who comes out of the kitchen with it. You get the feeling that this is like the serving girl who comes through. She looks young. And she carries it over, and she's like, here you are, the cheddar biscuits you asked for. Hopefully everything will be to your liking.
Oh, yes, thank you. It's very, very hard to get cheese biscuits, Rob.
Oh,
Very
that's
good.
that's unfortunate. It's Matilda's recipe, so if you like it, hopefully you'll order more.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. As long as I'm here. I'm just kind of passing through. Looking for some work to study. Help my studies.
Oh.
Thank you.
Well, there is the notice board over here, and she gestures over a little ways. There's a nice big wooden board with a number of papers that are nailed into it, and there's a couple of nails that, it's clear that there's been paper torn off of them, and there's plenty of holes where people have posted other jobs. Currently, there's maybe just like 3 that are up there. So it's not a very busy week for people needing stuff done, at least at Grog's side of town.
Oh, I'm gonna go take a look. And Sky downs the rest of his drink.
He just
Arthur like
cringes.
watches him walk, like
Yeah, that's
gonna fall over.
another save for that one.
19.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Arthur, he's not phased. He downs it, wipes the foam off his mouth, and he's just gone.
Just
He-
slides off the chair. Actually has to drop a bit. Doesn't even trip. It just runs over.
He probably got more graceful after finishing it.
Wonderful. I have a question, Rin.
Can I get a
Go for it.
footstool?
Can Tola, using his prestidigitation, just create like illusory copies of the pieces of paper up on the board that's just like right in front of him? Just like layered over his own sheets of paper just so he can read them.
Isn't that that would probably be illusory
That's
script.
illusory script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have minor illusion, but
Yeah, no, prestidigitation is just like simple parlor tricks and stuff, so it'd be like you make a little quick fire, sha and things like that. Making actual readable text and stuff is a bit more advanced than prestidigitation could do. But yeah, if you had illusory script, that would have been fine. But so this,
I have
no, that
minor
would-
illusion.
That worked
minor illusion would.
too. It
Just-
could work, but
To just copy the appearance of the pieces of paper from
I'll
You
walk
have
out.
to-
over there.
I'll walk up and I'll unpin them and I'll hold them down to him.
There, that works too. So,
I
yeah,
was
say-
just getting a
say-
footstool to do that, and I just got
Yep.
blocked by the elf that walked over me, grabbed them, and walked off, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, and Sky, unfortunately, they were a little high for you. So yeah,
Damn
you
it.
pull off 3 of them.
And I hold them down to him.
Yay! Take them, walk back over to the table, sit back down, hand it out to just put
Didn't
them
know
on
what
the...
he said too.
What'd you say?
What?
Said too.
You're cutting out.
Say that a third time.
Wanted to know what they said too.
I know, I'm bringing them over to everybody.
Oh, okay.
So
She
the
wasn't at
table-
our table.
Yeah, she wasn't
Oh,
at our
at which
table.
point-
She's
at which
basically
point she looked-
waving along at you.
Well,
She
and I
looks,
looked at one
she
of
looks
the-
disappointed that I took them away. I come back over, I take her hand, and I drag her over.
Sky's been
Did Ruz
Sky,
say about
yeah, Sky,
As
Sky drags her over, and you're brought to the table. There's now 5 of you gathered around Arthur's poor table.
As
Along with
Lee
cheddar
gets
biscuits.
closer, as Lee gets closer, Arthur looks even more visibly like uncomfortable and tries to get away from her.
I pick up my giant souvenir cup. Can I get another one?
Arthur, give me a
Oh boy, a first roll.
I want to say wisdom just because it's like, what's your quick recollection of recognizing someone? I think it would just be just a flat wisdom.
Yeah, that's usually what comes with memory is wisdom. I think I can do that. 8.
All right, never mind. You're like, oh, that's another wood elf. Well, that's weird. What are the odds?
Yeah, Arthur does not like his own people, so he
Yeah.
kind of sinks into himself and like messes with the like tinderbox that he has in his hand.
Yeah.
Not
And
trying
you-
not to look at people.
And for Lee, you see him kind of look at you for a moment, and then he's just kind of like, I don't like people. And so it's like it's safe for you to surmise that he doesn't recognize you.
Okay. In that case, I'm a little more comfortable.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to establish, is if Arthur would recognize you, and it's very clear that he doesn't.
I give him a surreptitious glance, but I relax a little bit once I realize.
And so, Sky, are you sharing the notes with everybody?
Oh yeah, I lay them all out on the table
All
for
right.
everyone to read.
So as they get laid out, they're basic jobs. These ones aren't too extreme. The first one is like help wanted, chicken chaser. My chickens have gotten loose and I don't know where they are. If you could come to the Tenpenny Farm, we need to round up about 20 lost chickens. It's gonna pay out 10 silver for your time and effort. We'll also feed you, if you're hungry, as much as you could eat. Fresh chicken. Once you help us round up our chickens.
But you catch dinner, you may have it.
I like chickens, Eddie. I'm sorry.
I like chickens.
Oh my god.
The second one is another help wanted. This one's more of help wanted mushrooms gathering. And a local alchemist needs help gathering supplies from the woods. There has been a bit of danger within the forest, and I can't go out there on my own. If some able-bodied people would like to help me gather some ingredients for some potions, I will pay out 10 gold for each person, as well as a nice box of assorted potions. You can-
After reading that one,
Arthur's
he
like
just
that one.
takes that, but just puts his finger on that one and raises it a little bit above the other two, indicating like, okay, that one sounds like a good one.
Arthur
Ruz-
gives like a little nod, like yes. I like that.
Ruz can find ingredients.
I know a bit about mushrooms.
And the last one reads...
No comment.
The last one looks to be the newest. It is addressed under... Sorry, I'm trying to find... checking my notes. Where did it go? This one is directly written from the town guard. It's listed under investigation. I just brain farted. The highway road has been burned down. Foul play suspected. Anyone who can lend a hand in investigating the source and possible whereabouts of the arsonist, please contact the guardhouse and you will be compensated. It's a 50 gold for the investigation, as well as a note of merit with the town of Stillwater.
Huh.
Sky also raises that one up, and
This
then
one-
takes the chicken one and moves it off to the side.
As a note, because this one's listed under the town guard, it's directly signed as, Guard Captain Bearclaw.
Arthur takes the chicken one, balls it up, and throws it over back towards the listings.
No chicken chasers.
Nope.
What? And Sky kind of freaks out a little. No, what are you doing? And he runs after it, grabs the piece of paper, folds it back out as best he can, and tacks it back up.
My finger slipped. Or rather, the halfling slipped
You're-
faster than my finger.
Your mage hand slipped.
Or it's more, he tries to tack it back up, but it's too high up, and then a magical hand takes it up there. Oh,
Yes.
Basically.
Tola will just conjure up a pair of hands. One pulls out the pin, the other lays the paper flat, and then just pins it back in carefully. And he nods and smiles to himself. There we go.
I don't think anyone's gonna take that one, to be fair.
Sky
Yeah,
comes-
but it's good for them to get the message out there. They need somebody.
You never know. Sky picks up his empty flagon, looks at it, empty, looks a little bit sad, puts it back down.
You could
Although-
just ask for refills.
Looks over at Ruz. You gonna drink that?
I pick up
Yes.
the
Yes,
paper
later.
that has the that talks about the mushrooms. This one might be interesting. Potions are useful.
Potions are useful. I remember once about when I was a kid, I broke my arm, and then my mom gave me this weird purple drink, and all of a sudden my arm was fixed. It was amazing.
That purple drink.
Mm-hmm.
I am causing the group so much pain already.
As
I think it's mostly
as
Arthur.
someone who grew up around
Yeah.
magic, I'm just like, yeah, that's absolutely amazing.
It's a thing.
1,000 times.
It's a thing. Okay.
My folks didn't really deal with potions all that much. We didn't have a potion seller in our village.
I'm
Yes?
taking you out. Will you take me with you?
Sorry?
On taking one of these jobs, will you take me with you?
I could always use some company, right? He kind of just looks confusedly at everyone else.
Company is great, like, right, Ruz? I sense the face.
Rez is just taking a huge gulp of her.
Exactly.
It's just a
You all are marginally more interesting.
absurdly sized drink.
Sometimes
it's probably
company can be a bit more
exercise.
trouble than it's worth, but sometimes not.
What my teachers always told me is it's good to have people between me and the things with the pointy sticks. Cause not very much use if I can't get my spells off.
But you have a shell. Sky looks
Arthur
really
was literally about to say that.
Well, yeah, but my teachers don't, and neither do many of the other students. So, I mean, they didn't really
What?
customize the curriculum.
Fair enough, I guess.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get ready for bed. I also gotta take a massive pee, and he just runs outside.
No wonder.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm glad he shared, honestly.
I'm not.
Rez not.
I have a feeling Arthur and Ruz are gonna like weirdly
Bond.
get along.
Yep.
They're gonna weirdly get along. I don't know. I don't know.
I feel yes, definitely so.
We like each other. What's up with the halfling?
It's very much, I think, the two sane people
Yeah.
syndrome.
We found the group moral compass.
Tola is
Jesus
completely sane. He's just a little slow
He's
to
just
speak.
the turtle.
He's just a turtle. He seems weird.
Now my character is weird.
Indeed. So, okay, so I'm gonna go out of character briefly just so that we can, just to clarify, so we're all in agreement on this potion quest.
Yes. I think
Oh.
it pays the most without having to deal with the guard.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But
As much as-
doesn't Lee want to go back and thank the guard for his great directions?
I will later.
As tempting as I actually want the, what was it, a writ of passage from the village?
Commendation.
Yeah, because that could have some, like, political clout. As much as I
I-
want that, I do want free potions.
I don't think that these are all mutually exclusive. I think we can do more than one. I just
let's
wanted
do
to
Oh, absolutely.
finalize which one we wanted to tackle first.
Oh, free potions. Out of character, definitely.
Okay.
Tola's a little
Definitely free
confused how
potions.
someone burns down an entire road, but yeah.
I'm also
No.
curious how that happened.
Not clarification. Not the road. It's a bridge. It's a bridge for the trade
Okay,
road.
Yeah, but it said the road, the highway, yeah, and so they're like, how do you burn a road?
How do you...
With a lot of dedication and a lot of spell slots.
Like
I wonder if you could make a
Arthur
spell
is
for
more
that.
human than elf, so he understands. But yeah,
How do you burn a road? Is it glass now? What's going on?
okay.
Anyway, that's me. I'm gonna be right back. I need to use the bathroom.
Yeah, you actually.
Alrighty.
Okay, got it.
That's where we're going to take our 5-minute break then, folks. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
I still don't know where Arthur's going.
Ren?
You should probably
You
buy
don't
a
know where
room if you're
Arthur's
not
going?
going to go join the free one. Yes, Shay.
There a way I can get some music set up? I don't really have. I don't have Spotify.
I'll work on it. We'll work that out so it'll be on there next week. Because I can add a music program to Discord, and that way you can just give me the list of the things you want playing, and we can have that playing for you.
But the rest of us can't hear it though.
No. I can set it up because they do. The DM for our Saturday game does this. He has a music client that plays in the voice chat, so everybody can hear it. Because we had to actually turn it down because he had it too loud.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. So
So,
that's why
my
that's
DM
why I
just plays
said
it through the jukebox.
yeah. That's why I said next week because I'll have to talk to him about what he uses and how to set it up in Discord.
Well, I'm thinking though I can. If will you please go there? Yeah, that I can maybe use that. Perhaps. Oh goddamn! I did it twice. My bad.
Oh,
My bad. My bad.
commoners.
Yeah. Commoners will extend you every courtesy and do their utmost to help you.
I mean, what are you looking for in particular? Are you just
If he doesn't stay here.
Oh, I mean, this would be the easiest place for that
Yeah.
kind of courtesy because it's like Grog's Place offers a free place to bed down if you're not able to pay. So most people will be like, "Well, that's free. Why aren't you just?" But I mean, at the same time, Grog's is also stupidly cheap by comparison to everything else. Like that's why people are coming to his place because his rates are significantly cheaper, even to normal Raleians, in price for drinks and food. He's making a killing because he's undercutting. And undercutting is in quotation fingers. It's what the other businesses are calling it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I will be right back. I need to get a drink.
Okay.
I'm back with drinking sacks.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Should probably not be looking at that.
What?
Well, that's the one part about streaming as the DM. If we're watching
Oh.
your stream, see the
Meh.
notes.
I mean, I'm just putting in the quest notes, so you're not seeing anything secretive. Just as a formality, try not to be looking on the stream for any information, and I trust all of you not to use out of character knowledge to determine any of your actions. Plus,
Yeah.
there's also a delay, so it's not like it really helps you.
Oh yeah. Also, for just like any sort of record, Tola, it doesn't even look like a normal turtle, because
Dragon turtle.
as far as anyone's aware, turtles don't normally have horns or whiskers,
Hmm.
or even like the spiked shells. So he's a little off in more ways than just normal,
Okay.
than just being a giant turtle, man.
So he's a freak. Freak.
Break!
Yes.
Alrighty, so the 3 quests are in your notes now. Really sad nobody wanted the chicken chaser.
I mean, we can just send.
I mean, I might have gone for that if I wasn't a noble background.
You would also get the title of chicken chaser to put in front of your names.
Look, Sky would have loved to do that, but out of character, the others seem way more appealing.
But food.
In character, Sky would have had just a blast.
We could just send Sky out to go do it. It's not like
No, I
the
wanna
way
go
he
back.
runs around and it'll take him 5 minutes.
That's fair.
He will never
No,
stop.
we can
And no, it won't. The chickens outrun me. I only have a 25-foot movement speed.
I'll buff you with a speed increase spell.
I'll buff you by throwing you at the
Um,
chickens.
Cool. Just
So it
makes
sounds
chicken-
like
I'll use very
Sounds
hard
like-
to highlight all the chickens for you.
everybody's back then.
yes.
Onwards and upwards, I say.
One thing before we get started. I was considering
I
putting
had snacks.
considering putting funny images
Snacks
for
are good.
each of these, and I found one that I
Healthy snacks.
absolutely
Are there
want
snacks?
for Chicken Chaser. So-
What?
Are there snacks?
Healthy snacks.
Healthy snacks. Okay.
Yeah, healthy snacks.
Healthy snacks or healthy snacks.
Come on, Arthur. Would you do it for an Arthur snack?
Oh,
I'm
Those are
sorry,
really
he's
good
an
pieces,
elf.
like the
It's
fuck?
not very distinctive. I can't just call it like a bird snack. Like something interesting.
Alrighty,
Making
I
it
found found this, and I'm not sorry for it.
that's accurate.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's more like chickens chasing.
Yeah,
That's good
exactly.
news.
Like I was just looking for stats for chickens for no particular reason,
No
and that was
particular
something that came up, and I was like, it's like I'm not gonna do it for every quest, but I feel that this would just be appropriate. Alrighty, so it's late evening. Y'all have decided you're gonna work together on doing some potion ingredient gathering. What is the plan for the rest of the night before people head to bed, though?
Arthur was
Well,
gonna get food.
Yeah, I
You
think
didn't want
that's-
You didn't want any of the cheddar biscuits. There's like 24.
oh, they're
of them.
gone. They're gone. They're all gone.
Look at the turtle.
Never mind. The turtle. The turtle has eaten.
The turtle weighs 436 pounds. He needs to fuel that somehow.
Plus, Arthur wasn't gonna eat someone else's food.
I think you bought it for the table.
It might have bought it for the table.
Apparently not, though.
Oh.
Because that was incorrect of me to assume.
It wasn't offered to him. He's not gonna take it.
You see, it's like, oh my god, you see with the halfling, you turn your head another direction, you turn back to the halfling, half the drink's gone. You turn away from the turtle, you turn your head back, the plate of food is just vanished.
Just gone.
I was like, where are you?
All right,
Where are you putting all this? He's
Tola
very
just points
disturbed.
to pats his shell. Down here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll buy a dinner and probably go to my very fancy room.
Alrighty,
It's
so
fine, fancy.
fancy. All right, so basically, between the two of you, once you guys start ordering food, you have the options of roasted boar and lentils with a tankard of cider for 10 copper. There's roasted beetroot with a mug of ale for 2 copper. There's stewed sausage and millet bread with a tankard of cider for 10 copper. There's pottage and a mug of beer for 4 copper. There's pottage and a mug of bitter for 2 copper.
Cider.
Got a fish.
Is it biter? It is biter.
I want the
Just ate.
that first one you said.
Yeah, I'll also take the first one.
Roasted boar and lentils.
Mm-hmm.
Lentils are some good stuff, though. Alrighty, so they round up 10 copper from each of you. And it doesn't take very long. It's about 30-45 minutes for them to cook all this up for you and bring you out. They're bringing plenty of cider for you in the meantime. It's not like, it's one thing of cider. You're getting a good amount of stuff to drink for your money over that. Are you guys going to be talking and getting to know each other during that 45 minutes, or is this awkward silence?
Arthur just watches.
Sky's left. Sky went upstairs and passed out. He's an early sleeper.
Okay.
Tola would have made sure to greet each and every person at the table individually, just going, "Hi, I'm Tola."
So
I don't think Arthur's even said his name yet.
Even
He has
even
not.
going so far as to hold out a giant spiky hand towards Ruz. Hi.
Russ
I'm
will
Tola.
shake the hand.
Oh, that's a firm grip you got there.
Yes.
Extend my hand and I do say, my name is Lee.
Oh, that's a fancy name. Short for something, right? I know elves got long names usually.
I recognize
Well, I
your
won't
name.
brag.
Is it, your name is Elvish, isn't it?
Oh, pardon. Yeah, my parents, my mom and pa, they're elves. Yeah, I don't know any of my own people. They kind of found me as an egg. I'm from a fishing village down the coast a bit, in the demilitarized zone.
They're marginally more fascinating.
Well, thank you.
You're just going up in small increments.
People usually tell me I'm interesting. They never seen things like me. Not usually. But, thank you.
They're people that I've seen.
You have? Really?
Yeah, are there lots of you around?
No. I've never actually seen another turtle.
Oh,
I've been looking. Kinda interesting to know if I could find my own parents. The ones what gave birth to me. Or at least my egg. But,
Sorry.
I'm
Sorry.
more interested in my studies, my work. I've heard I'm actually very different for a turtle too. Don't normally have these, and he points up, like just taps his horns. It's very curious, they say. So I've been looking for answers everywhere.
That's the only thing Arthur does is just, huh.
Yeah.
Awkward
what-
silence.
thing.
What brings you lot down here? I know there's kind of troubles going on
Oh,
with the humans.
aren't our nations at peace though?
Oh,
Pieces in
No,
quotation
I mean, I know there was
fingers.
a war, but
You're-
doesn't stop people from being, you know.
it's more of a ceasefire and an armistice than peace.
It's not really peace at all.
As it's never really stopped people from being people. They're scared a lot, and
I guess
fear
I'm not
can-
really sure. I haven't really seen too many places. That's actually why I'm traveling.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Good for you. You're a good sort then.
Curious to see the rest of the world.
Oh yeah. I hear there's a bunch of great stuff out there. Actually, my main focus of study has been dragons. It's fun. I really
Dragon?
want to meet one someday. Yeah.
You may
Uh,
regret saying that.
Why?
He will.
They're not the nicest of things.
Well, maybe not.
I'm
But-
actually more interested in meeting Faye.
Oh no.
Have you not met any? Any fee?
I've seen a few, but I'm interested in their world, stories, and some of my music was actually inspired by them.
Well, you're an elf. Out of everyone here, well, both of us, rather, you'd be the most to see a fee.
As well.
I have no idea what you just said. You're cutting out a lot.
Are you from the Cinefade as well?
Arthur just kind of wiggles his pointed ears, like, yes.
Why,
Looking at
yes,
her like-
yes, I am.
Looking at her like, really? Look at me.
Look at me with my hood up and my head just leaning back in my chair where no one can see me in the shadow.
He did wiggle his pointed ears.
Feeling awkwardly stupid, I look away.
The other patrons who have been listening on all sigh.
Arthur doesn't apologize. He doesn't
Well-
like elves.
There's elves and then there's like fae, right? There's a difference.
Because
Not-
Well, we're
there
born
are
from the
there are
Fae.
gateways to the Feywild, but I've never actually been there.
There's even rumors that there are some elves that live in the Feywild.
I've actually been a lot of places. I'm traveling, so and one of the places that I'd really like to see is the Feywild. Connects to me.
Aren't you going the wrong way for that? You should go back to where you came from, basically, to find that, right?
way you
I
came.
can't go back there yet.
Yet.
Oh, what's that? I'm sorry. Did I step on some toes there?
No.
Arthur
takes
is, like,
another
watching you
long
intently.
drink.
This is like,
Oh.
why am I here again?
I seem to have stuck my sandal in my mouth. I'm sorry.
Poor Ruz, too. She got abandoned by her actual friend.
Quote
the one
unquote
who's
friend.
good at the one who's quote unquote good at talking.
No reason to be sorry. I'm just,
Oops.
not in any trouble or anything. I'm just keeping a relatively low profile.
Oh. Okay.
Now, Shay.
I was gonna say, can I do another wisdom save now that she said that?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you can give me an insight, and Shay, you
Uh-huh.
give me a deception.
See if they're trying.
Well, I was gonna say wisdom to see if I remember who she is now, but do you still want insight?
Yeah. This is going to be something a little more particular.
11.
Insight is based off wisdom anyway.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why
It's
like
the same roll for me, but I was just wondering if it
um,
was different.
well, particularly for this, as she's saying like, it's like, oh, I'm not running from anything. There's no reason to be concerned about why I said I can't go back. You get the feeling that that's in. Well, what, Shay? Why don't you tell him? It's like, is that information true, or?
I am running from something.
Yeah, you get the feeling. You get the feeling that he's keeping it or she's kind of hiding information, and that people don't just say they can't go back to places just yet, and not give a reason why.
Do I recognize her now?
You are recognizing that she is definitely cut from a more noble cloth. You could guess that she's probably a member of one of the noble houses. When was the last time you've been back in the Saint of Fate?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh god, let me look at the back. So it hasn't been that long since he's left.
Because really that depends on if you know any news.
He hasn't really been gone that long. I'd say maybe a year or two.
Okay, so you get the feeling that she is a member of one of the noble houses, particularly for the Wood Elves. But like in regards to what she might be hiding, you don't have a real clue. But you know that she's not giving you all the information, but she's definitely a noble. And it's not normal. It's not normal for the nobility to just be up and wandering, especially in Rallia. Usually only. I don't know what the proper term for it is, but like the
Retainer.
Dignitaries.
Not even. I think retainer is the appropriate word, but it's political hostages. It's when in medieval times when two groups are fighting and they're like, hey, let's not fight anymore. So for a while, you're gonna hold on to a couple of our people, and we're gonna hold on to a couple of your people, and they're gonna be treated nicely, but
They're technically hostages.
yeah, but they're hostages. But it's a you're living here for a number of years or a little while to make sure that nothing happens, because the moment that you step out of line, we have one of your people and we can kill them.
Yeah.
So basically, nobles don't go across the border unless they're dignitaries or they're one of these retainers, in which case it would be weird for one of these retainers to be by themselves.
Okay.
So you've got a little sneaking suspicion.
Okay. Arthur's not gonna say anything, but yeah.
Ruz,
kinda
are you doing anything?
Looking me over.
Now Ruz is done with her drink, and she just looks at she looks at Arthur and just says, Ruz am Ruz, who is you?
Arthur.
Nice meet.
Hi.
We do have some good meat here in the tavern. True.
She just
Sorry,
sighs.
sorry. Did I miss a bit of that conversation?
No, it's fine.
I thought it was very clever.
Quite.
Sorry. Okay.
I just kind of laugh a little bit.
Well, I have no idea if you probably even realize that his name is Arthur and not Arthur. Because of his accent.
That's true. She probably will. I don't think I'll be able to like say it every single time as Aerther, but Ruz probably would refer to him as Aerther every time until he corrects her. So it's like really weird,
Until he writes it out.
pretty much.
And then it's, I can't read this.
And then
God damn it.
And then hand it to Sky. What does it say? Aerther.
that's what Ruz thought it was. He said it wasn't.
Anyway.
That was weird.
So Ruz will continue to engage the quiet elf in conversation and
Engage in
Basically,
quieting.
quiet conversation, just like empty bed in room if want, wasted money otherwise.
Oh,
Wow, he moves fast.
okay.
Wow. Good job, Shay.
No, there's four. Yeah.
Arthur just
Oh.
like, goes, okay, and nods.
So,
Ruz nods back.
I've got a question. If we're all going on this same mission together, what exactly do y'all do? Like, I know magic. I can do some minor spells. It's kind of part of my blood. But
I have a little bit of natural magic too.
oh, are you a sorcerer too? You real good on
No.
that piano, man.
My magic is more from the more from my music.
Oh, well, it was real good music.
Thank you.
Real good.
Mm-hmm.
Ruz nods.
Pretty
Ruz,
much every time Lee talks, Arthur is just staring her down. Sorry, continue.
What about you two?
And a little bit from the constant stares from Arthur.
You're cut out. I have no idea. what you're
Drink
trying to
into myself a little bit from the constant stares.
say. Okay.
Ruz, druid, use nature magic.
Arthur just kind of lifts. He has a rapier on his hip, and he just kind of lifts it a little bit to show. That's about that.
We're showing off weapons now.
That's what I
Damn
can
it!
do.
I should have stayed awake. I have all the weapons.
That's what I can do. Just use it to defend myself.
Okay. No, that's good. Probably better than mine. Anyway.
I've always thought magic was pretty cool.
Right? I didn't even know about it until. Oh. Right. Don't like talking about that.
Fair enough.
It's probably the safe group to have secrets with.
Safe
With
is-
Sky not around.
Especially with Sky not around. I tell you right now, especially without him around.
But I'm kind of curious why he's saying he can't go out and get these ingredients himself. It's
that-
weird,
That is dangerous, eh?
right? But like,
Forests are dangerous.
Aye.
how?
You'd be surprised what you can find in there.
Beasts, raiders.
Moving
guess so.
plants.
Mostly beasts. And maybe a
Yes.
few surprises.
Jeez.
As Arthur says that, he gets kind of bitter. As he says a few surprises.
I don't like surprises. I don't do well with them.
I don't either.
Tola would at that point just like wave down somebody that works there so he can pay for his meal. Just reaches into his coin purse, pulls out like just a weird assortment of gold that's both Raleigh and from the Saint of Fate.
Okay,
Couple
so
coins from each.
the human serving girl's been making her rounds, and as you wave her around, she kind of looks at the coins, and she's like, those are pretty. And she looks at the Saint of Fate ones, which are actually more like pressed gold leaves than coins, because they're elves. But she kind of flips it over, and it's like on the one side, it's very much like the coin, quotation fingers, is shaped like a leaf, but on one side, there's the symbol of the empire itself, which is just 3 intertwined trees, and then on the other side is the image of the queen, or the empress, I suppose, because it wouldn't be an empire if it was a queen. Is the the head imprint of the empress. She looks it over and she's like, Can I have this? Can I trade you for my gold coin? And she pulls out a Raleigh one. She's like, I just like collecting. Is it all right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna
I'll
need
trade
to
her one.
pay for the food somehow, though.
Well, yes, of course, but I was just asking. But at Lee's offer as well, she swaps a coin with each of you, and then she's like, I'll take this one, and she holds up the coin, and she's like, I'll take this one and go get you your change. And so she comes back, and she,
Rather appreciate it.
so same thing for everybody. You all had gotten your change for the roasted boar and stuff, after, if you gave up a gold coin, because you probably did, because the starting gear
Yeah.
doesn't give copper or silver.
Nope, it does not.
So how much did I spend on the cheese biscuits and
The
cider.
20 your 24 platter of the cheese biscuits was probably about 20 copper. You guys weren't going too crazy on the prices, and
Oh, question.
Mhm.
Did not seem like a moron. I'm used to currency in D&D being divisible by tens. Are you using
Yes.
divisible by hundreds?
no, these are all tens.
Okay. Because
Okay.
I'm like, why is it 20 copper and not 2 silver? I am confused.
Yeah. So everything's 10. It's 10 silver or 10 copper to make a silver, 10 silver to make. We don't. The only thing we're not dealing with is Electrum, because Electrum is stupid. Fuck Electrum.
Electrum, agreed.
They were just like, let's just throw in a fourth one to throw everything off. It's like, no, we're just gonna keep it simple, or not a fourth one, a fifth one. They're like a fifth one because yeah, why not? And it's
Yeah, fuck it.
like no half dollars. Fuck that. Anyways,
When Arthur finishes his food, he just kind of... Well, he has to... I think he's stuck between Ruz and the fucking Tola right now. I think.
oh, he feels real small.
did choose a corner.
Tola would give everyone a lot of room because he's aware he takes up space, so he's trying to be away from that.
Yes. Arthur just tries to make his way out, and before he leaves, he turns to Ruz and it says, so that room, you said I could stay there, right?
Yes.
For the night?
She nods.
Thank you.
It's funny because Sky took off before everyone and didn't tell them where the room was.
Shit.
Ha!
I realized that afterwards, and I'm sorry. Good news is he doesn't lock the door.
Why is that good news?
Wow, you
Because
might want to knock before going in.
Because when you find out what the room number is, it'll be unlocked, and he'll be asleep. Snoring.
Ruz
Arthur's going to
realizes
go
she
to
doesn't
Grog
know.
first.
Yeah, Ruz is also moving over there to figure out their room.
All right, so
Yes,
you
which
guys
one?
kind of. It's not hard to find Grog among the crowd because he's just a large man, large half ogre man, and he's like, "Oh, the little one ran off without telling you, huh? Well, it sounds like it's the flop for you guys. I don't know what he's gonna need with 4 beds. I'm only kidding. If you go upstairs, you hang the left down through the common rooms. It's the far one, right on the end. It's got its own door, as opposed to having doors on the sides, which are the singles and doubles. I think the princess over there ordered a fancy room, so she's actually not going down that hall. She's gonna go straight. And then
I
she'll
don't really
take the
care where
second.
she's going.
Ah, well, it's good seeing you too, Arthur. You're gonna. I should send you to the outhouse. Yeah. So up the stairs to the left, far end. It's the adventure room.
Ruz will thank him and head on up.
Arthur also thanks him with a little smile. Like a little
Grog's-
joking smile.
Grog's gonna catch Ruz by the wrist before she departs,
boy.
and he's gonna lean in a little close, and he's like, between you and me, the sign out there says outsiders are welcome, and there ain't no reason for any non-Serenophates to be hiding their identity. At least when you're in Grog's. It's safe for your folk to be in here as long as you're not causing trouble. Just think on it. And he smiles and he lets the wrist go. It wasn't a stronghold or anything. It was just one of those, hey, I need to talk to you kind of gestures.
Yeah. She gives him a nod, but as of yet, she's not taking her hood off.
Yeah.
Again, not that it's doing a thing.
No, exactly, which is what exactly. It's not a good disguise, and even the half ogre is able to see through it.
She thinks it's great with her 8 intelligence.
Jesus Christ, 8 intelligence.
Nobody's chased me off with pitchforks and fire yet. It must be working.
Exactly.
And secretly, unbeknownst to the other adventurers, and this is completely untrue, I did not actually do this, Grog is just like, what does a halfling need with 4 beds? Secretly, he grabbed all the beds, shoved them to the middle of the room, put them all together, and he's just sleeping at the center.
He's got a giant bed now.
Biggest
even-
bed ever. No, he
wouldn't
did
even
not actually
fit.
do that.
Oh, he couldn't stretch out to
I'm-
get on any of them.
I'm
On
surprised.
my-
I'm surprised he's not going to get caught bouncing on the beds. Really.
No.
In
No.
my,
He drank an entire flagon,
No.
he is unconscious.
in my Saturday campaign, we took all of the mattresses from all the other rooms and put them all in one room to be like one big mattress room.
Nice.
Like, every other room was missing a mattress, but we're like, oh, we don't care. We have a mattress room, so we just roll around on it.
We're
He's made
adventurers.
of-
What are
he's
they
made
going
of-
to
He's made a pillow for it.
I don't think we're that comfortable with each other yet.
do? Not yet. No.
I'll head to my fancy room.
All right. When you guys head up to the room, the adventure room specifically, there's 4 beds, one on each corner. There's a large unlocked chest where you guys can store your stuff, and there's a central fireplace that can keep you warm in the colder climate, or not climates, colder hours of the nights and seasons. It's not currently lit since it's early spring, so it's fairly warm, comfortable temperature in the evenings. But like he said, there's no privacy, so the beds, it's 2 on each side in the corners, and so there's no like changing screens or anywhere for you to be decent unless you're planning to sleep in your clothes / armor.
Sky has taken one of the corners. His stuff is just spewed out on the ground. It seems he doesn't seem to care. And he is spread eagle on his back on the bed, unconscious. Snoring a little.
Awesome. As for Lee, When you get up there, you were told your directions to get to your room. You actually walk past the hall that they were going through, and a little further down, you can see to your right there's a balcony where it looks down overhead with a good view of the stage and some of the seating arrangements. But then there's a second hall that splits to the left, and there are some more private rooms, more fancier as in quotes, but they're actual, beds and stuff. In the adventure room, it's basically just straw mattresses and a blanket with a nice pillow. These ones are actual like mattresses. You have a sheet. You have a couple of pillows. There is a chest with a lock. It's a simple lock, but it's one that you can secure, and there's a small key for it. You have a window, which is a thing that the adventure room doesn't have. There's a personal fireplace, and there's dressers, and there's even a little wash tub. So it's not fancy, but if you had a look at their accommodations, it's like, oh, it's nice by comparison.
It's like we have this
Well,
new revolutionary
oh.
technology known as springs, and we put them in the mattress.
It'd probably be like feather mattress, but yeah, it's not hay.
Take care of my things and try the bed.
And the bed is lumpy, but sleepable. So everybody's settled in for the night. Did Tula go up?
No. Tola would go over to Grog and talk about staying in the flop because he doesn't really use beds.
Alrighty.
So he just need a place to set his shell for the evening. And doesn't matter if it's a corner or anything.
Yeah, this is something I was hoping for. All right, so the flop is the flop is named appropriately. There's probably 3 or 4 homeless vagrants that are also in there. They smell like they've been drinking for most of the night. There's no blankets or anything, but there were pillows accommodating for these people, and basically it's just straw and hay thrown across the floor in a deep enough volume that people can lay down and sleep off their intoxication. It's clean-ish. You get the feeling that, somebody might have had an accident earlier in the night while they were passed out because
Lord.
yeah, because this is where they toss the drunks because they're not going to toss them out onto the street. But you find a nice corner to shell up in. You probably make yourself a hay and pillow fort barrier between yourself and a drunk that tries to cuddle up next to you.
He tries
mean-
to cuddle up to that fucking shell.
He tries to hug the spiked shell.
Mistake.
The drunk is like, this is the weirdest looking egg I've ever seen. And he just snuzzles and he's like, pointiest too.
Probably after he's done reading through his scrolls, making sure he does his studying for the night.
Out.
But yeah, he just then tuck his stuff underneath him and just flop forward onto his shell, pull himself in.
Nice.
Love that. He has his own bed.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He has the most comfortable bed out in the road himself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So everybody heads to bed. You all nestle in. You get a good night's sleep. Everything's uninterrupted. It's a nice, safe place. You're actually really surprised that it's this well kept and safe. But come morning, you all wake up in the adventure room, your private room, and surprisingly, the flop is woken up as Matilda opens the door and she's banging a pot with a large spoon, and she's like, "All right, you lots, it's time to get up. Y'all need to get some breakfast in you, and then you need to get out because you're not paying to sleep here all day." And so she banging the pot, and poor Tola, you're not a drunk, but you're also sleeping there for free, so she's kicking you out into the common room at least.
Tola will pull a hand out of it, just a single arm will extend from his shell, hold up a finger, reach into his coin pouch, pull out 2 copper, and hold it out to her.
Just a
Oh.
single hand.
Just a single
Just
hand.
a single arm. Yeah.
She
the rest
kind
of him
of
is still inside the shell.
she kind of regards the copper, and she's like, "Oh, well, that's different." And she makes her way over, and she collects the 2 copper, and she's like, "Well, excuse me, my lord. I guess you'll be sleeping in." And she kicks the drunk that's currently sprawled over the spiky shell.
I'm amazed
And
he's not
she's-
bleeding.
Well, he's just laying on.
the
He's-
possibly dead guy.
Yeah. She it's like sleeping on a bed of nails. She gives him a good kick, and she lifts him up, and she's like, "But you didn't pay. So you don't get to sleep in with the Lord." And so she basically drags him off, and you're left in the flop by yourself.
And then his arm just slowly pulls back in.
And
As he
he
gets
sleeps
another
in.
5 or 10 more minutes. Because
Oh, the poor thing.
he's not great with surprises, and he just got spooked awake. That's not good for him.
Aw.
They spooked him.
He got spooked.
Poor
Poor
girl.
thing.
And besides, he just didn't need a bed. He didn't say he wanted to stay for free. He's not that kind of turtle.
Oh,
He's not that kind of a villainous, sleepy turtle.
Really wish you did that voice. I really wish you did that voice.
Okie doke. Mm. I'm trying. Sorry, I'm looking right now if I need to actually do anything for the morning. I don't think I do.
Yeah, this would be the time to get any morning rituals done.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I need to.
I think your druid's really the only one.
And
so.
hey Ren, could you post a link to the stream to Sammy, please?
She hasn't been watching this whole time? It's been in the main chat.
And all right, do you have your Twitch and Discord linked up, Ren?
Yes. She's not
Okay, then
they're not in
It's not
Discord.
Discord. Yeah.
Well, whether she does she have you on Discord? Because she can still do it to there.
No,
too.
they don't. They don't
Oh,
do
okay.
Discord.
Okay. And yeah.
At least I don't.
Say.
At least I don't think so. But yeah, I linked it. I linked it in the Skype chat, so I don't know how she missed it if she just wasn't watching. But here, I'm gonna link it to her.
Was it in the
It was in guild chat, but it
how
not
many
like
posts there?
they weren't spamming today.
Okay. I don't have to do anything. Okay. Cool.
Yep,
Just-
Rez will do her morning,
I tune my instrument.
attunement, I guess, to her spells. I don't really know what the verb would be for a druid.
I think you just do like a ritual. It's not anything special. Not praying to your god like, please give me spells.
Or
Like a
praying to my
paladin.
praying to my
Yeah,
lord.
what happens?
it would
What
be
happens
bad.
if the deity is just like, I don't think you need that spell today. No.
You're just sad.
I remember-
you go to cast cure, and oh man, he didn't answer you.
I remember the Order of the Stick did a joke where the party cleric was praying to Thor for his spells, but Thor was drunk.
Oh, right, I
He's
remember
like,
that.
he's like, cure water, whatever. Give him endure elements. Don't care.
Jesus Christ.
So Sky wakes up, sees everyone else is awake. Just hops out of bed.
Arthur's not awake.
He doesn't
Arthur-
know Arthur
Very
well enough
soft.
yet to shake him awake. So
No.
he'd do that to Ruz if they were still asleep.
Ruz is up and getting her spells.
Ruz
ready
now
for the
knows
day.
better.
He is just playing.
It's
some-
probably more accurate to say that Sky knows
now
better.
That might be true as well. He probably did it once and then shrunk half a foot as he was pumped to the ground.
It's safe to say that it happened exactly one time, and it never happened. There was never even a thought of it happening again.
He straps on his weapons and throws something out of the ground, but otherwise, he doesn't mess with his hair or anything. He just sort of walks over next to Ruz. Is like, "Oh, ready to go? Ready to go? Ready to go?" You're giving me the look again.
I say one thing. DM, am I allowed to ask if people can do a perception check for something of mine?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, guys, go ahead and make a perception check.
He's been awake this whole time.
Decent at this. I'm distracted by Ruz.
I'm assuming it's just the people in that
just the
room.
people in the
Yeah,
room,
Lee,
yeah.
you're not there, so you wouldn't see it. You're in your own
So
room.
Rez saw it.
Yeah.
Arthur, it does have his back to them. But just next to his pillow, you can see a box. Just a box.
Oh, is this the thing?
But he didn't have that out before he went to sleep.
Is this a
Sleep,
MacGuffin?
quote unquote.
Is this
Oh.
is this your thing?
That's my thing.
Yeah, this is the music box thing. I'm assuming.
It's just a box that was next to his pillow.
It's a MacGuffin. I don't see it. Nor would Sky
No,
do anything with it.
Written out.
that's it.
Okay. So I'm guessing the music is playing.
No.
'cause-
Aw.
Rid's
It
beast.
only plays. It only
Rings
plays
is
at
being
night.
ominous.
Oh,
well,
it
then,
only-
well, then you guys definitely.
They
Everybody.
don't remember it in the morning.
That's
Oh,
right.
that's true.
Damn, way to
No.
ruin it.
They don't remember it in the morning.
You should have told me to play it before bed. Ruin the moment.
Next time. Yeah, Rez
Yeah,
will
it's-
make note of it and just be like, okay. I mean, people like, okay, sure. I guess
That's a thing.
not the weirdest thing I've seen in the past hour.
He just woke up.
Come on! This guy just sighs dramatically. Fine. What do you want for breakfast? I'll go down in order.
Lee will be playing some soft music for her breakfast.
Alrighty. So Lee's down there making a performance check.
Not with advantage this time. Doesn't matter. Still 18.
It doesn't matter.
doesn't-
She's
Damn.
still
even matter.
even when she first wakes up, she's still rocking the house. She's got some nice morning music, something easy to wake up to going on. But yeah, they're more than happy to provide her with some food. And let's see, what's today's menu? They usually keep a pretty universal menu, so it's not too different from what it may have looked like last night.
At this point, Tola would be walking in from the flop with just stretching widely and getting out a big old turtle yawn.
All right, so the breakfast menu is
Morning.
acorn bread and soft cheese with a mug of cider for 2 copper.
Ooh, I'll take that. He says immediately taking a table.
Yep. So, are you just getting a little plate because they're just breakfast portions? They're not 24 count of cheddar biscuits.
It's an important meal. So, yeah.
Alrighty.
I might need 2 helpings, but I'll pay for it.
Yeah, 4 copper.
I'm
All right,
good
so
for it.
they'll bring you 2 helpings because you asked. You asked
I
nicely.
have it as well and sit with Tuga. I get a half fortune.
It's not too good.
Tula.
His name's Tola.
I still pay the full copper, but I get a half fortune.
I don't
Okay.
even think he's paying attention.
Oh, he completely
You're still
rolled
too
through
good.
it.
You are a Tortuga to Sky now.
Tortuga.
Did I say Tortuga?
It's
You said
'cause
Tuga.
my last turtle character was named Tuga, so he's gonna have a little trouble
Why
there,
would
aren't
you do
Corey?
that? Why would you do that to people?
It's something so similar. It's Torga and Tuga, and I'm just like,
He is kind of.
Well, see,
Tula.
and that was what I was
Tula.
doing. That was what I was doing earlier too, because I called him Tula instead of Tuga because that was what it was.
yeah, I'm putting
Tola.
Tola up
Tola.
on my screen as a character sheet. It's gonna sit there,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
so I can
And
just
then-
look at it every time before I say something.
And you get to look at the awesome art.
Ruz will come down. She will also get a breakfast, and she'll order breakfast for Arthur and tell them when you see him walk down, then prepare it for him.
All right, Matilda's pretty amused by that, and she's like, "Oh, really? Well,
Not even. Ruz is very quick to be like, "That isn't what happened at all."
no,
Ruz
not,
being
not
nice.
that."
I would know. I was sleeping next to them. Close.
Ruz just
Matilda
goes to the
just
table.
raises a brow, and she's like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
I
Russ
whisper to Ruz, I think she has the wrong idea. I whisper very loudly. Anyone nearby can hear me.
Speaking of anyone nearby,
It's very
Tola
clear
leaves.
that people have all kinds of ideas about what's going on.
Ruz just sighs.
Tola gives a very slow, friendly wave. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, like, with Arthur, it's gonna be like as soon as the music stops, he somehow, it's like his cue to come out because he doesn't come out until the music stops.
Don't stop till the music stops. So yeah,
Or don't start.
It's like it's such a coincidence that he came out right when her music stopped. No, not really.
Oh,
Whoa.
snap.
He doesn't want to be down there when she's playing.
Okay.
whoa.
Huh.
All right, so everybody's down, and you guys are eating breakfast, and
Nap, 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 nap.
there's less people
Can I
in
make an in-
here. Sorry, go ahead.
Can I make an insight check on Arthur?
Absolutely. Arthur, what is she picking up from your presence and behavior right now?
You are just picking up that he does not like you.
Okay.
That's it. That's about it. He does not like you.
It's very
He's
obvious
just-
he's not very trusting, and he knows that you cast magic through music, so...
Ooh. Interesting. Good stuff.
Probably put a little 2 and 2 together there.
And you get 22, which is a crit.
Yep, you've got
Just
a...
like, do you
job.
want me to go into like complete detail of what she would?
No.
No, that's good.
Nat 20.
Yeah, no,
That's
that's
good.
that's
It's very obvious he
pretty
does not like you.
you've got a good read that he is not comfortable around you, and he's not really a fan of another elf being around. He's the token elf. You have to leave.
No.
Yeah, no, that's not it. But yeah,
Oh,
there's some
okay.
there's some bad vibes going on there.
Wait, how's that work for me then?
You're
You're a
You're a
turtle.
turtle.
you're turtle.
Whose parents are elves?
I just start eating, just in silence at this point.
Yeah, the awkward silence sets in, and Ruz is just like, "You gonna eat that?" and just swipes a piece of cheese from Sky's plate.
Hey!
What?
And then
Don't
she eats.
roleplay people's characters for them. Jesus.
So how would you sleep?
Arthur does say thank you for paying for his breakfast.
Ruz gives him a nod.
Okay, that's it.
That's all. That's all.
That's it.
All
I
right.
do not look at Arthur at all.
Oh, she
That's fine.
takes.
I do not make eye contact.
He's cool with that.
He prefers it that way.
Yeah,
You're just playing his game now.
So, mushrooms, huh? Where are we going again? Who are we seeing?
Forest.
What does it say? Yeah, which forest? We're surrounded by forest.
We should probably go to the alchemist first, eh?
I don't like
She
how
would know what we want.
out of character. I don't want to go to the creepy greenhouse.
Go to the
We're going to
greenhouse.
the we're going to the
We
creepy
kinda have
greenhouse.
to.
I suppose we have to visit Halivard.
Halivard the Alchemist. They didn't exactly leave a list on the help wanted sign about what they needed, so
Well,
we
hopefully,
could be gone all day, harvesting who knows what, and come back, and it's
Mushrooms.
not anything they need. So
hopefully the guard will let us in. He was very friendly, though. For some reason, he didn't want us to come in. I don't know why. Was it something I said? Turns and looks at Ruz.
Rose nods.
well, we're technically
Sky looks
in
so
town.
sad.
Oh, cheer up.
Um,
we're technically in town.
Would Arthur know the way to the alchemist?
Yes, yes, you would.
Okay. Then he just pipes up like, I'll lead you there.
Oh, okay, great. He immediately goes back to happy.
That'd be wonderful.
It goes quiet
once
again and
again
starts
has-
eating.
Tola just once again has 2 empty plates in front of him.
Jesus Christ, Tola.
You know, we got the halfling who's immune to liquid, and we got the turtle who's immune to food.
He has a bag of holding as a stomach.
No,
I'm convinced that he actually does.
Well,
At
how
this
do we
point-
get anything out of the bag and holding?
You
That's
gotta
what I'm
punch
worried
it
I don't
out.
want to
You
know.
gotta
I
keep
don't want
punching
to
out.
know.
Just gut punches over and over.
doesn't
There are
work.
2
Shell.
holes you can reach into. Guess which one works? I'm done.
Got it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
right. So,
Look,
Alchemist.
he's got to fuel himself somehow. He weighs 436 pounds. Only a third of that is his shell.
Jesus Christ.
He's a big boy.
He's thick boy. Thick
Rez
boy.
will eat, and then after that, she's more than happy to be on the way to the alchemist.
Everybody's more than happy to get going. All right. Okay, so
Wait,
you guys.
who was it that asked? Sorry, who was it that asked how they slept?
Tola.
Arthur just.
Tola would be very
don't
genuinely
sleep.
happy to ask everyone how they slept. They had a good night.
Yeah, Arthur just responds with, "I don't sleep."
Oh, that's a useful skill to have.
Sky without missing a beat, and he just blurts this out. That's weird.
That's an elf thing.
Oh. Okay.
Just like being immune to alcohol is apparently a halfling thing.
Fair
not-
enough.
I
it's
get
not
that from my
true.
dad.
Yeah, his voice actually goes an octave higher. That they're like, I think.
It's like, not really. I get that from my dad. He's human. Nod.
Okay, so it's a human thing. Got it.
So you're a halfling.
Yes, I am a quarterling, technically. But we just say
Oh.
halfling because people get confused, especially humans.
A 3/4ling.
Shh, don't tell the human. No.
So that's why you're so tall.
He's a 5/8ling.
You guys are making this awful now.
Like you weren't doing that for yourself already.
Shut up. It is my thing to be awful. Not you guys don't need to help. Kind of, maybe. Fuck it. Do what you want.
All
so
right,
anyway,
so everybody's
everyone's ready.
everybody's ready to go then.
Yep.
All right, so you guys pack up and get your stuff together. You expect to be out for at least the better part of the day. So you've got all your adventuring gear sorted and ready, and you make your way back up the road towards Stillwater proper. And along the road, you pass the guardhouse again. This time, Darwin's not sitting there. It's another guard. This time, it's a female. She looks a little older. She's graying in her hair, and as she sees this group approaching, she raises a brow and she's like, "Oh, coming from Krogs. Darwin left a note about you guys. Oh, hey."
Did he say something nice about us?
"Hey, Arthur," and she kind of waves, because at least the guard is pretty chill about Arthur's presence. He hasn't caused any trouble lately, so they generally know what he's all about. When she hears the question about nice things, she looks down at Sky and she's like, yeah, nice. You guys didn't cause any trouble down at Grog's place, or else you wouldn't be walking up here, so I guess it's fine for you to be in town. Hello, people who are home. Just try not to cause any trouble, and, well, I guess, Arthur, you know the way around.
Aye.
All right, just keep your friends in line, and everything will be square.
Oh,
Leans
that's
over to
nice.
Ruz.
She
Does
said,
that
Aye.
she
Sorry,
said we're
go ahead.
friends.
leans over to Ruz. Does that mean she's in charge of us? She's in charge of us?
He.
It's an elf. It's hard to tell.
Well, to be fair, the picture I have for him is a girl, but she's very androgynous. So I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, no, it's passable.
No, I still lean over to Ruz. Does that mean he's in charge of us?
Yes, best behavior.
Best behavior.
I'm always
Do
on
it.
best behavior.
Better behavior.
That is scary.
Well, I
Alright.
guess Arthur eventually leads the way.
Yeah, you've been given the go ahead to enter the town proper, and since it's early morning, a lot of the farmers are already up and about, and the regular townsfolk are making their rounds, doing their normal thing. There's a couple of shops that are opened up. Haberdasher, tailor, the blacksmith is working. But before long, you're making your way down the street, up and around, towards a house that has some eerie green smoke billowing out of the chimney. And, you know, the windows are radiating a green glow, but the door is open, and there's a friendly sign that says, "Welcome, alchemists." You know, it looks like they're open for business, but yeah, there's the clouds and stuff coming up out of it. They
I am
definitely.
slightly concerned.
What?
What did Tola say?
Yep. See, seems about right. Par for the course for an alchemist.
I don't know. I seem slightly concerned.
Nah, they did all this kind of stuff back at school.
Oh, okay.
They were a very eccentric bunch of students, usually.
They were the ones you got all the
Did
best stuff
alchemy?
from.
Alchemists, yeah.
You're marginally more interesting.
Well, there was a lot of people at the school.
The alchemists were the
Didn't
kids who
know.
got in trouble. They said they'd go cook, and then there was a real outbreak of problems.
Damn it, Rin.
Lots of explosions. Couldn't use some of the labs some days. It was all right. Nice bunch. Little reckless.
Arthur
going in-
doesn't even comment.
going in-
Arthur's just already going into the story.
I was about to say, who's going in
Tola
first? Sky could go in, but out of character, I don't want Sky to talk.
Ruzzle, follow Arthur in.
Ah, wait for
I'll
me.
join.
All right. So, as you guys enter in, there's a little ding-ling-ling-ling of the door, and the clipping over a bell, and it signals. And as you enter, you see that there's a normal-looking shop. There's a wide counter, and behind it, there's display cases of various blue, reds, a couple of blacks, some smoky grays, just all sorts of bottles of various shapes and sizes with the colored contents inside. But as the bell rings, you hear, "Oh, a customer! Hold on just 1 second, I'll be right there."
Oh, God.
And then out from the back comes out a little gnome. Gnome's got one of those nice wide brim hats, and nice, good job.
I'm sorry, I covered the mic and I hoped it muffled it.
Yeah, that was
There is
that-
a mute option in
There-
Discord.
there was
I
that
wasn't in time.
there was that discussion of push to talk and muting
shut
and
up.
just oh man, you guys.
I don't mind that. It adds character.
I mean, if it was in
Just the tiny
character.
little halfling just-
I'd say it totally is in character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
totally-
Sky just lets out
He had
this
a
little
big breakfast.
belch and just.
He had, he had a giant thing of mead last night. Rock.
Oh, there it is. Finally showed back up.
I just look at Skype. I just look at Skype.
Yeah, that happened.
Say.
Anyway,
Just
Anyways,
shakes her head.
the gnome kind of pauses and looks to Sky as well, and she's like, "It's clearly a female gnome, but very very well kept, with like salt and pepper hair and a nice hat, some glasses, a
Yeah,
fashionable,
Sky is the opposite of that. He's got hair going every direction.
fashionable looking outfit with a with some nice boots and gloves over her hands, and then they look over and they're like, "Oh, well, halfling."
Hello.
Well, okay. Well, this is interesting.
You're
Arth-
Miss Halivard, right?
No, I'm his assistant. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Sardonyx. Welcome. Halivard's in the back. I heard that squee. Halivard's
Is it out of character?
Halivard's in the back. He's doing some work, and I'm just here manning the front. It's nice to meet you all.
Pleasure.
And you see her actually get up onto like a step. It makes her a little bit taller so that she can see over the counter as she gets behind it. It looks like there's might be like a raised platform back there. And it's like, oh, so what can I do for you? Are you all looking to buy some potions?
Sardonyx, actually, we're here about searching for mushrooms.
Oh, you're here for the job. Okay, yeah. Halivard was saying somebody might eventually stop by, and well, he mentioned that it was getting put in at Grog's, so no wonder that you people showed up.
Hi.
Hello.
Arthur just kind of waves.
Arthur, hi.
Hey,
Oh,
Everyone seems to know your name.
everybody knows Arthur. He's Arthur.
I.
Aether, as he likes to call it.
Aether?
It's going to be a running thing now.
Arthur.
Aether.
Name.
Arthur.
Here?
Here.
I'm sorry, I have an accent. I'm sorry.
This goes on for a couple minutes as Sky and the gnome are trying to do their best Arthur voice.
We are failing horribly, and
Russ
we are
is-
not sorry.
Russ
Neither of them are
has-
sorry about it.
I
Russ has
tilt my head
found the
slightly.
nearest window, and she's just staring at it.
The art fair.
I could
Just gone.
I could just. I
Just
I
leave.
could go
No
home.
one would care.
Go
I-
home and then-
Sky would care. Sky would care so much.
Ruz is like, I could have just left him in that alley.
But she didn't, and
Now
now
I'm-
she's stuck with
I'm responsible for him and all that he does to this world.
Yes, so absolutely. You're here for the job. Halivard had told me somebody would be stopping by. He also said that I had to go out with you.
Oh, do you happen to know if there's any Fae around?
Yes. I mean, well, maybe. Possibly. He said it was dangerous. The last
There's
time
rings of mushrooms.
the last time he went in there, he said he got attacked by something. He was just really shooken up about it. He said he wasn't going back in there, at least not with help, and he put up the job notice. Wow, okay, I totally
See,
turned
told
that...
you I was subbed.
I totally muted that, but I guess... Thank you, Max. Also, I hope everybody got to appreciate that new subscription image. Anyways, she's like, yeah, Halivard said he got attacked by something, and he wasn't really inclined to talk about what it was. He just kept mumbling about the mushrooms, and then he said I had to go. So here we are. Hooray!
Oh, do you think if I spoke with him, maybe I can convince him to describe what he saw or what he got attacked by?
Oh, maybe. I don't see why that wouldn't be a good idea.
Also, could Tola
See
make
here?
like a knowledge check, see if he knows anything about sentient mushrooms?
Absolutely. You can make a nature check for me.
Ow.
Or I guess Arcana would have.
Depends if they're or if they're natural beings or if they're magical, like a dragon is magical.
Yeah, I think that's usually the distinction. Hang on, let me see if I can do something for it.
Alright.
I think you could probably roll either, but you only get information about that category.
I'm just seeing what I know what he's looking for. I'm just trying to see what they classify as, and if he's going to get any information off of it.
I feel like I'd just make the Arcana check and be like, "Okay, did my schooling ever cover anything like this?"
Oh, absolutely. That's a thing you could do for sure.
Yeah.
9.
9.
Nope. He doesn't, he
Nine.
doesn't remember ever going over anything about
Yeah, there were.
magic mushrooms.
Well, they definitely went over so many different types of magic mushrooms that you really couldn't place anything about sentient ones. So it's kind of like, you You do remember that one time when they let people try the mushrooms, and that was a bad experience. You didn't get out of your shell for like a week.
Well then.
Idea about this.
But yeah, Halivard's in the back if you wanted to go talk to him. He's just working on some potions right now.
So, may I go in the back or should I wait?
Oh, good point. Hang on. Halivard, and she runs down and she like pulls back the curtain. She's like, Halivard, hey, they're here. They're the adventurers you wanted. They're here to talk. One of them has a question for you. Just be careful. She's an elf.
Very
Now,
loudly.
see, I thought. Now, doesn't Sardonyx get along with what else?
Well, I mean, this is you've never met Sardonyx, so it's definitely just a hey, it's an elf. But after a minute or
Wouldn't gnomes be more friendly?
that all depends. After a little while, an older man comes out. He's definitely human. He's got a nice goatee, well kept, but he looks tired. His eyes are a little sunken and dark with bags. It looks like he hasn't slept for a while, and he's hello. I was just working on something in the back, and my assistant here said you wanted to talk, and he kind of lingers his eyes on Lee for a moment because it said elf, but he's just like, oh, well, not every day that such a beautiful woman comes to see me, even an elven woman at that. If I were 20 years younger, maybe.
You flatter me.
Well, I fought in the war, and he kind
Arthur actually makes that noise.
of yeah, I expect as much. And he's like, well, I fought in the war, and he kind of like does one of those motions where he kind of rises up onto his feet and adjusts his
Impressive prowess, then.
Yeah, he does one of those where he adjusts his belt and he rises up on his feet, like he's like, oh yeah, I'm pretty tall britches, and he's like, we've had many a scrape with many of your kind, and most people.
Out of character. Oh yeah, I fought in the war. I killed hundreds of you people.
That's something you should be bragging about, too, huh?
Well, I mean, most people hold a real grudge against what the Reclamation had done to our people. But I spent some time. I spent some time in the Cenefate after, just because we were making our way back, and I don't hold any grudges against your folk. May not hear that from many in Stillwater, but the war never really reached. I'm sorry.
I only got to hear about the war. Part of it.
Oh, then you're quite lucky, because though it was a nasty thing, and while human memory is short, most of us had grown up in it, around it. I imagine it's merely a blink for folks like you.
I ask what kind of mushrooms we were looking for, and Sardonyx actually mentioned that you ran into a monster of some kind.
He gives the gnome a little sidelong glance, and you see Sardonyx is like, oh, well, so much more to do over here. I'm just gonna go assort this stuff, and you see her like kind of busying herself with a shelf of candies and different things. There's just particularly a lot of gummies and chocolates, and she's like, I'm just doing stuff over here, not listening to your conversation or flirting or anything like that. And then Halivard is just like, oh well.
Don't give Sky.
I've no doubt that you could have handled it on your own.
Well,
Sometimes.
well,
But I would like to know what we should look out for.
Well, the thing is, I was out there gathering mushrooms, and it's very important for some potions. A lot of the people here rely on them for things like helping their crops and whatnot, and the mushrooms are good for fertilizer. But I had found a cave in the forest not too long ago, and there were a good number of mushrooms growing out of there, and, well, the further in I went, I noticed that the mushrooms were looking at me, and eventually they were moving, and a couple of them got up and gave chase. It was the most horrible thing ever.
That's weird.
Yeah, that was kind of...
Halivard glances over to Sky and he's like, yes, it was very weird, and I did not sample any of them beforehand, so the fact that this was actually happening was terrifying.
Oh,
Arthur visibly facepalms and joins Ruse at the window.
Ruz, at this point, Ruz is looking at like, her
Ruz,
quarterstaff and is like counting the rings.
Oh god.
It's only been one session, and this character has damaged the minds of 2 others.
Yep. So I
What should I roll about anything I know about moving mushrooms?
nature.
Nature.
They move a whole lot after you consume some.
Ruz, Ruz, even if you're not trying to hear it, it's definitely a conversation that you can hear. So you're free to make nature as well.
All right, so I would like to point out intelligence is my dump stat, and nature runs off of intelligence.
Does it
So, you
really?
know, yes, it does.
Oh,
it
that
should be
is
a wisdom thing.
dumb.
But, you know, it's whatever.
Why is
no,
that not
it would be a
wisdom?
survival.
So,
That's
yeah,
for- that's
Survive-
for edible mushrooms.
yeah. So I guess knowledge is like the
It's still doing the knowledge cap. Okay.
yeah. It's like yeah, but that's
All right.
dumb. It should have turned
One.
wisdom away. Like,
So yeah, Ruz, you kind of raise an eyebrow at the talk of living, moving, walking mushrooms, and you're like, yeah, that sounds kind of like something I've heard about. You know that he might be referring to myconids, because that's a sentient race of actual walking mushrooms. And if there's one nearby, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it could be dangerous.
yeah, Ruzzle will be like, could be Myconid cave, intelligent, maybe dangerous, not always.
Oh, well, that makes things very serious then.
Sounds like they will in this case.
Well, I would not feel very good about sending you out there to deal with such a thing for mere 10 gold.
I want to see them.
If I
Ruz picks
if I-
up the nearest mushroom in the store and holds it out the lay.
if I could convince you to go back to this cave for me and harvest a couple of mushrooms for me, maybe at least a bushel's worth, I could raise what I would pay you up to 25 gold apiece, hazard pay, of course. Now that we know we're dealing with a living, dangerous, potentially, air quotes, potentially, creatures that might try and hinder your progress. Also,
Surely.
Sardonyx would definitely be there to help, which, I mean, at least be able to tell you which ones not to eat.
I know which ones not to eat.
I'm
I
sure
can tell them.
I'm sure you do.
Hopefully, we won't be
Even
eating
I
any
know
of them.
you're sounding condescending now.
What? No. Me? Never. Not to a halfling.
Ruz, Ruz is gonna look at the alchemist again and then kind of stress living, intelligent mushroom.
She can't
Colony.
condescend to you. She has to look up.
Wow.
The mushroom that's being held out to
They're-
me,
they're-
and I
They might be at
tilt my
height.
head.
Sorry, Shay, what?
Look at the mushroom that's being held out to me, and I just tilt my head and say, "It's not moving, though."
No,
No,
it's
no,
not.
no. She's moved on from she just wanted to show Lay what a Myconid looked like.
All right.
So now
Well.
she's talking to the alchemist again and saying living, mushroom
I was gonna say, out
with
of character,
intelligence.
I don't think it's
Uh-huh,
a good idea
yes.
to harvest
I'm not-
sentient mushrooms.
No. By no means am I saying that you need to kill these things. It's more that the mushrooms that they grow, because they still have there are still other mushrooms that are not myconids in there, and if you could collect a couple of those, particularly I need purple ones with like silver flecks on them, And I can make a list for you. It's quite extensive. But I need you to gather a couple of these. And the hazard pay is more if the Myconids give you any trouble. I don't encourage you murdering anyone, especially these creatures that might be living and sentient, and he air quotes again. But if it comes to being dangerous, I want you to feel compensated for putting yourselves at risk. I have nothing if not fair.
Thank you very much.
And I'm going to make an update to the quest log so that this reflects the information.
I feel compensated already.
Teehee. But at that note, we are hitting the 3-hour mark, so this will be where we wrap it up, and we'll start next week with you guys heading out to go collect some mushrooms.
Oh, I wanted to keep going.
I know.
So-
Same.
It's like I got this stride, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty fun." But no, I have to actually stop here because I have some work I need to get done for Monday classes.
Oh, okay.
So it won't. Maybe we could go longer some other times, but today is definitely not one of those because I got some stuff I need to get done before class.
Not
just
So
homework, naughty.
what did everybody think? Did y'all have fun?
I'm having way too much fun, and I want an honest opinion. Should I tone it down a little bit, or just keep going? Because
No,
this
do it.
character
Keep
is
it.
pressing
Keep it.
charge.
No, it's
Keep
fun.
it.
I
You do
absolutely
you.
love reacting. off of it.
DM
It's
says
great.
this is great. I love it.
Just
yeah, they're these sentient mushroom people. That's weird. Just blurts out.
There are just these characters in the middle of the party. It's like I'm just imagining little cogs. There's Ruz and there's Arthur next to each other. It's like that's meshing well. They're going fine. Then in the opposite direction are just Lay and Sky spinning in opposite directions, grinding against Arthur and Ruz, and it's just like, oh god, no. And then Tola's just off to the side going, this is fine.
This is fine.
basically.
This is fine.
Just as remember, Arthur has a 9 in charisma. He's not good with
He's
people.
not. He's not a good
He's
people
not.
person.
He's not.
I've
He's
got
just like, please stay away from me.
I've got like a 12,
Please stop touching
which
me.
is a lot considering I'm a barbarian.
It's your natural
Tola's got a
charm.
14.
You need it for your intimidation.
I do, which is
Tola's got a 14. He's a very charming turtle.
Alrighty, so I'm going to end the stream. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to catch us next week. We'll be back at the same time, even though it's Easter, so they're probably going to have to deal with some zombie pranksters
Oh, boy. Why?
Oh, boy.
because it's Easter and April Fools.
oh at the same time.
Yeah, funny joke. yeah, like it's weird. It fell on Easter falls on April 1st, so they're like, yeah, Jesus coming back from the dead was a prank. It's like, oh, it's just a prank,
Now I'm
bro.
just-
I've been fine the whole time.
Now I'm just hoping we don't run into any rabbits in the cave. 'cause
Right?
We know how that ends.
Oh, snap. I totally...
Rabbits, dynamite.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Morph. You...
The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.
The DM will remember this.
No.
All right,
That was
guys.
counted.
You're welcome.
Three.
So,
Not
yeah.
two.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the end, guys. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out Drink Game Repeats channel. She is awesome. I know
I've been
she's
streaming it.
I know she's got her own stream, but this is more to the people who are watching on this channel and on YouTube when it goes up. And until next time, guys, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.